Sacramento.
Take it on the local level.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sactown Sports. It's time. It is that time. Time for Stiles and Watkins.
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140. Find us on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140.
It's time for Alan Stiles and Chris Watkins.
Yes. On a Wednesday, Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. Nate Littlefield behind the glass as we proceed to give you what you need. And the Kings gave you what you needed last night as they take down the Warriors in convincing fashion. I don't know, Chris, if anybody expected that. We tried to be realistic. We tried to protect ourselves from what could happen. They weren't favored by Vegas. They're missing Malik Monk. They're missing Kevin Huerter. They limped into the 9 seed, losing 5 of their last 7. But it's a whole new season once you get to the postseason, and the Kings were able to compartmentalize the good parts of what they did throughout these last couple games with the bad and take care of business. 118-94. They embarrassed the Warriors. It was about 70-30. That's what I thought it was going to be. That's essentially what it looked like to me. But it didn't sound like that once the Warriors started going Clank Thompson and missing shots all over the place. Then it felt like it was 100% to 0. Chris Watkins, just break down your initial feelings. Outstanding job with the post game. You'll be back on Friday. Right. It was popping in there. I made a cameo. I made an appearance as well. Somebody thought I was Chris Haynes. That's how many people were in there. They didn't even know who I was. Chris Watkins, how you doing?
I'm great, man. Yeah, it was about 70-30 in the crowd, but I'm going to tell you what, man, with about 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, which is a good amount of time, that thing became about 90-10 real quick because Warrior fans started hitting the exits early yesterday. Yes. And it was really the thing that I don't think anybody expected. It was a great day to be a Sacramento Kings fan for sure. Definitely one of the best wins that this team has had, of course, in the last 15 years, 20 years. You can maybe stretch it into there. But yeah, I mean, we talked about it yesterday. It was the worst Frank fact that we ever read. The Kings had never won an elimination game in the Sacramento era. And last night, even though it wasn't 9-10, it's about as low stakes as you're going to get. They still got it done against a team that has had their number and has been, the big brother thing. And I heard the Drive guys yesterday on the way into the game make a perfect comparison of, the funny thing about big brother, little brother, or, it's kind of like, when your dad growing up, he's going to beat you when you play at 21. But one day, you or your kid, he'll beat you.
Yeah.
And then there's no looking back past then. And it felt like there was a bit of that yesterday of the Kings. They got beat last year. That Game 7, they pushed the Warriors. I think yesterday is definitely a sign that I think we all knew last year the Kings were the better team. It's just the Warriors out-executed them. Yesterday, and we set it up all week, it was an opportunity for them to redeem themselves, a full year-long story arc that got capped off last night with another great cap to a story. Keegan Murray, the entire year, this entire season, all 82 games leading into that 83rd game last night, was to get Keegan Murray to a point where he could be a guy that we rely on in big games. And Keegan Murray absolutely delivered. 8 of 13 from 3 last night. He was incredible. And to me, I mean, the fact that the Kings just pulled themselves up from their bootstraps against a Warriors team that walks in with supreme confidence. They've been there, done that. Again, last night was supposed to be a speed bump on the road for Golden State. And the fact that the Kings never let that deter them, set the tone physically from the jump, which is exactly what we wanted to see. It was a perfect night. It really was.
It really was. And the fact is, if it was a one-game playoff last season, everybody would have picked the Kings. This is what we saw from the Kings in the first 2 games. They're younger, they're faster, they're hungrier. That's who they are. In a 7-game series, you have the IQs of a Steve Kerr. Don't let Warriors fans tell it because they can't stand that man. But you have the IQ of a Steve Kerr. You have the IQ of a Draymond Green when he's not getting kicked out. You have the IQ of a Stephen Curry. But in a 1-game series, you never know what could happen. The only reason people like myself weren't incredibly confident was just the fact that the Kings had lost 5 of their last 7, and you didn't have Malik Monk, who had been a killer against the Warriors. But besides that, we understood that the Kings athletically, nobody for Kuminga, but as you
saw that play out,
but Kuminga had 31 the last time they played, and they still won. When you look at just where these two teams are at, the Kings, not that they should have won, but they obviously should not have been heavy underdogs. It's all this other stuff that you can finally put to bed with the Warriors. I'm never counting them out. You can count them out now because they're out. They on a plane to Cancun right now. Real sad. Real sad. So the bottom line is that we understood where the Kings could beat the Warriors. It was just a matter of, were they going to be able to pull it off?
Yeah, no, and the fact that they did it on the defensive end, to me, again, is a beautiful tie-in to the entirety of the season and the growth of this team. Again, the fact that they just won this game with Keegan Murray being a fantastic player and also on the defensive end, if you were to have told me that a year and a half ago or a year and a month ago, I would have said you're absolutely out of your mind. Maybe not so much about the Keegan Murray part, but specifically about the defense and definitely the fact that Keegan stepped up that big in a game against the Warriors. Absolutely. But this is exactly the point where the Kings want to be at right now. Of course, they want Malik Monk. Of course, they want to be at full strength with Kevin Huerter as well. But I think if we're talking about, and of course we're going to talk about it when the offseason comes, and it's going to be a conversation later today of is this already a successful season or what do they need to do, if anything? I think the fact that the Kings have now gotten to the point where they're winning games on the defensive end first. They hit Brendan's number yesterday of 20 points off turnovers, and Keegan Murray is at the point where, I know there's been inconsistencies, but in a gotta-have-it game, Keegan was able to step up and be this team's leading scorer. I think that was the whole point of this year. We've talked about it for months. They were not going to win a championship this year. This year was about building stepping stones that were going to help you into the future. And to me, last night is a perfect example of the growth that this team has had in just a calendar year. Again, to have that same opponent, same venue, everything, elimination game, all re-lined up for you, and for the Kings to go out there and execute, and again, right the wrong that happened last year. Again, you just can't ask for a better performance in a better game.
They were firing on all cylinders all game long, and you got to turn the page, which we will do towards the end of the show and obviously tomorrow and leading into Friday. But this was a complete game, okay? And what we had seen from the Kings these last couple games, you get that lead. I'll be honest.
Oh, it got dicey.
I was running around the media area. Anybody who would listen saying, we've seen this before.
Oh, come on, Draymond.
They start to lose the lead. Before. They were only up 4. I'm thinking this could get dicey, and they learned from it, and they did not allow it to snowball. And Chris, I'm double checking here, but brother, I got 20/20 vision. Okay, 93.3% from free throw.
Yes. How about that?
From the free throw.
How about that?
From the free throw line. That's insane.
Where's that been? Where's that? I mean, better late than never, right?
I have no clue.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they execute just like the complete focus of this team. And like I talked about it yesterday on the live stream, and it's not perfect because the Kings definitely have tricked off games here recently, specifically, those Mavericks games and definitely some other games down the stretch. But this is an example of when we talked about earlier this year that the Kings had a great record. I think the best record of any of the play-in teams against the top 4 seeds in the West. We talked about, because this team, as frustrating as it is, and I think it leads to a lot of the frustration, is they play up to their competition, but they also play down to their competition. And I think last night was an example of when these guys are locked in. 82 games is a long season. Things happen day by day and game by game, and you just kind of get thrown off and you don't really strategize and lock in for a single opponent. when this team locks in and focuses up and truly can give 100% effort on a given night, they can beat anybody. Yeah. And I think that was an example of last night. They didn't barely win yesterday. They didn't scoop by. They didn't have a late stretch that gave them the lead or anything like that. They dominated the Warriors from game plan to game end. They were the much better team, much better executing team. And I cannot believe that this team just put together that performance with their backs against the wall with, maybe low expectations helped them out in this game. But, just the fact that they were able to pull this out in that moment is just spectacular.
And get the pallbearers out.
That's right.
Get the pallbearers out.
Because it's over.
We're going to get the musical later in the show. It's a funeral.
Yep.
It is a funeral.
Yep.
And the Kings, look, Warrior fans, they should be thanking the Kings because
we did y'all a favor.
There's no more facade.
Yes.
Oh, we got to the second round last season. Nope. If Wiggins had been playing more, maybe we beat it's over now.
Over, yeah.
We can confidently say it's over now.
They're talking in the Bay about it being over.
Yes.
I'm telling you, I heard in this morning, they talking Steph getting traded. They out there.
Well, horrendous.
Did you guys hear the biggest news?
What is that?
Klay Thompson is helping build the A's Stadium in Vegas with all those bricks.
They're doing it.
Good donations from Klay.
Thank you to Klay for that.
A lot of people coming down Sacramento's road for helping the A's move, but Klay's
the
laying the
foundation
over there. You know?
And Chris and I, are we proud that we went double agent this morning and listened to Bay Area radio?
Oh,
yeah, I'm proud of it.
It was pretty great.
It was hilarious.
I'm telling you, after 2:00, during a Drive Guys commercial or something like that, just give yourself 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah,
it's going to be worth it.
It's going to be definitely worth it. During our breaks, of course, you got to check it out.
It's pretty great.
It is outstanding. When we return, we have Frank Fax breaking down the ridiculous numbers from last night, and we open up the phone lines. This show is about you. Yeah. How are you feeling? 916-339-1140. 916-339-1140. Call line, text line. Shout out to the Sack Chat going crazy. It's Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Have you made a mistake in your past that you want removed from your record? At the Gonzalez Law Office, we know that good people make mistakes. Restore your rights. Clear your record. Call us at 916-304-9187. That's 916-304-9187 or at saclegaldefense.com. Do you have a pending criminal case or injured in an accident? At the Gonzalez Law Office, we handle all criminal and injury cases. We don't settle for less, and neither should you. Call the Gonzalez Law Office at 916-304-9187 or visit us at saclegaldefense.com.
When you take the time to shop at Folsom Lake Honda, there's one thing you'll always find. Happy people ready to serve you. As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Looking to own or lease? During the spring sales event, drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Yeah. We on that Bay Pack. Light up that Bay Pack, that Warrior Pack going crazy this morning from the 916. Obnoxious Golden State fans by us were chanting Warriors.
Oh, my God.
In quarter-1, we reciprocated with Warriors chant around the 4-minute mark of the fourth, and they sheepishly got up and left Sacramento proud.
Yeah, they were
there.
Out.
You go.
It was getting chippy.
Oh, we saw. We were
section.
We were closer to the standing
Some
room.
Shoving.
And it was hot. It was hot up there.
Stay classy.
And for the most part, everybody did. Most of the Sacramento Kings fans did. And, you got to take care of business. This is one thing that I do want to ask when it comes to fandom, because obviously I've been on both sides. And if the shoe was on the other foot, I don't know how Kings fans would act. So I'm not trying to just bag on Warrior fans and other fans. But I understand when your team wins, you get a parade, right? You get a parade and you get to have a good time and you have the feeling of winning a championship, and that's awesome, okay? I understand that as a fan. That is very easy to understand. What I don't really understand is when your team is losing, acting like Klay Thompson and saying, we have 4 championships.
Right.
This is where I kind of turn the page to, well, you're not playing, right? In the moment when you're enjoying it with your family and friends and other fans, it's awesome. Parade, awesome. You have those memories. Yeah. But in a mano, hey, I'm going to talk trash. What are you trying to say? That you were better at selecting a team when you were a child, or whenever whenever you picked a team? I just don't really get the burn there.
Yeah. Did he do it last night?
No. These were fans.
Right.
The fans were. It was the Exodus cam popped up. They left in the middle of the fourth quarter, and when Kings fans were just waving, they said, "We have 4. We have 4." Okay, well, where is your ring?
Yeah, that's the amount of Klay Thompson points, assists, and rebounds combined. That's what he had last night.
I'm also like, I mean, if anything, that's more embarrassing. If you're like, we have 4 rings, I'm like, brother, well, like, you shouldn't be in this game.
Right.
Like, we're the Kings. We have no rings, which is why we're celebrating winning a 9-10 game. Y'all have 4 rings and are out here trying to stunt in our face about winning a night. Like, because the thing is, if the Warriors would have won, they would have been so loud, so obnoxious.
Exactly.
Wouldn't have been
little brother this, little
all
brother
that stuff. You can't have it both ways.
I'm trying to figure out if you have 4 rings, then why did you pay upwards of $300 to go to the game?
Come on.
You weren't going to win a championship during the play-in. So if it didn't matter, because you got 4 rings, why are you here?
Why are you wasting your money, huh?
Yeah, why are you here in this little bitty playing game? And you got packed up in the playing game.
Bye.
You had so many good memories, Warrior
Here's
fans.
another good memory. You got to see your dynasty end right in front of your face. How about that?
You saw the 4, and that's where it ended.
Yeah.
That's where it ended. All right.
Enjoyed it.
Frank Facts.
That's right.
Let's get to them.
Yes.
And definitely going to be some good stuff.
Oh, yeah. Today is definitely a good Frank Fact day after Frankie brought us down yesterday. Bringing us back up today with some great Frank Facts. Of course, yesterday's Frank Fact that made us all sad. Entering Tuesday night, the Kings held an 0-6 record in winner-take-all postseason games since moving to Northern California in 1985. Sacramento won its first winner-take-all game in over 43 years last night. Just let that sink in for a second. The Kings organization, their franchise, had not won a winner-take-all game in over 43 years and got it done last night. Hope you enjoyed it. It was a complete effort from the Kings. All 5 starters scored 15 or more points. Of course, an aggressive Keegan Murray almost had 15 in the first quarter by himself, scoring 14 during just the first quarter on 4 of 7 from 3 to help the Kings jump out to an early 25-15 lead, which I know had Allen a little bit worried because we've been talking literally about this same game script for the past couple days of, they're going to come out hot, a lot of energy, vibes are going to be vibing. And then, thankfully Draymond got the 3 out the way early.
Yes.
If Draymond would have hit a 3 then, it would have been, okay, this is where it starts. Thankfully, Draymond hit the 3 at the first play of the game, and I think he hit 1 in the second half. But the Kings never really were in danger of losing the lead. I guess we'll get into it a bit later. Jonathan Kuminga put the Warriors on his back in that second quarter, though, scoring 10 of his 12 first-half points in that second quarter. Golden State, to their credit, also locked down on the defensive end, holding Kings to 8 of 26. That's 31% from the field during that second quarter to reduce what was a 16-point lead all the way down to 54-50 at halftime. And it was kind of scary. And, Allen did mention he was downstairs saying, I
couldn't even enjoy my hot dog.
It's a 4-point game right now. And I
couldn't even enjoy my hot dog.
You even said, let me get the exact number. You were like, does anyone feel good right now about the fact that Kings are up 4 and Steph has 4 shots and Klay has 5? And at that point, Klay, as he ended up not hitting a single one of them.
Yeah.
Like, is that really, should you feel good going into a halftime when you know Steph is going to erupt and Klay is due at some point?
Right.
It was a fair point. It was a really, really fair point. And, I think ultimately the Warriors looking back, I think Steph is going to look back and say, I probably should have gone a little bit more game 7 a little earlier. 4 shots. I know the Kings were locking him up and really like almost triple teaming him sometimes. But still to only get 4 up for Steph, gotta feel like if you're a Warrior fan, you want to go down with your best player just chucking it up like he did in game 7 and hope that you can get a similar result. But that brings us to the second half where the Kings shot 54% from the field in the third while holding Golden State to 35% to regain control of the lead. As formerly mentioned, Klay Thompson struggled in what definitely might be his final game with the Golden State Warriors. He had 0 points. Yes, 0. Not a single free throw.
Yeah.
Nothing.
That going glazed donut
nuts
in a play-in game
generational.
Is absurd.
Generational.
Absurd.
This is the same guy they call Game 7 Klay.
Well, it's Game 6 Klay normally.
Whatever.
But elimination games.
Whatever.
Well, it was Game 0 Klay.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Play-in Klay hits different.
Play-in Klay is not
he
it.
hits different, as in he doesn't hit at all. 0 of 10 from the field, while Steph's 17 second-half points. He tried to put on the cape there like he did in Game 7. Not enough. 17 in the second half for Steph, where all the Warriors had to rally around their offense, finishing the night shooting 41% from the field, 31% from 3. Of course, our guy Keon Ellis was a star of the night as the second-year guard thrived on both ends of the floor, scoring 15 points on 3 of 4 from 3. He grabbed 4 rebounds. He passed out 5 assists. He blocked 3 shots. And he stole 3 balls over 38 minutes. A complete effort out of Keon Ellis. Kings scored 20 points, as Brandon Nunez told us yesterday, 20 points off of 16 Warrior turnovers. Golden State's 94 points on Tuesday was the second lowest total of their season. And Klay's scoreless outing was the 5th time over 951 career games, regular season and postseason, that he failed to score a single point. It was the first time that he hadn't scored since his rookie season.
So all 5 times were during his rookie season.
I would guess so. Unless I know for a fact, I know NBC tweeted it out. I believe that's the case.
It has to be.
Yes.
I mean, that was crazy.
Yeah, because I don't think he had a 0-point playoff game would be the only thing. I wasn't sure if that number, the hadn't done it since his rookie year, was playoffs included. I know the 5 out of the 951 is part of
that.
The
was nuts.
But it is incredible. I mean, it is absolutely incredible that, again, Klay Thompson, of all people, and I said this, I didn't think it was going to be Klay, but I said the Warriors were going to have to play their part if the Kings were going to pull off this upset. Klay was with us. Klay was 1,000% with us. I'll take the, 33 points in a quarter all those years ago?
Yeah.
If it ultimately led to this moment yesterday, feels like a fair trade-off. Appreciate it, Klay. Thanks.
And he has not been good against the Kings. I promise you, Chris, the last shot he made was that game winner in the second time they faced off when there was no De'Aaron Fox. That's the last time I saw Klay Thompson make a shot against the Kings. I'm telling you, great stuff from Frank.
Thank you, Frankie.
When we return, the legend of Keegan Murray grows. We break down his night, what that means for his future and his ceiling. And we're opening up the phone lines to you, 916-339-1140. All guests and callers, join us from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. I know there are some double agents out there, Warrior fans. So call in if you dare. Sactown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and The Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, The Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave inviting you to make the switch to electric this spring and save big with American Energy. Stay ahead of those spiking energy bills this summer with up to $9,000 in rebates on a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. American Energy is providing huge rebates from SMUD as well as spring specials by installing one of many incredibly efficient AC options available to you right now. Get rid of those fluctuating gas bills in the winter and switch to year-round all-electric with American Energy. Let them perform a free in-home energy efficiency analysis and see where they can help you save for the warmer months ahead. These guys are the best. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. A+ from the Better Business Bureau. Learn more by calling 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T level is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They're in Midtown in the Cal Sutter Medical Building and also offer telemedicine appointments. Plus, with free shipping directly to you, Revive takes the hassle out of treating low T and ED. Schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation today. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-365-4566. That's 916-365-4566 or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Contact Tax Relief Helpers for details and restrictions. Attention anyone that owes money to the IRS. The IRS has restarted aggressive enforcement actions against taxpayers who owe back taxes that were temporarily suspended for COVID. If you owe $10,000 or more, you must hear this because now is the time to clear your IRS tax debt. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens, levies, and other hostile measures by the IRS. Call Tax Relief Helpers right now at 800-934-9217. Tax Relief Helpers will provide you with the maximum protection afforded by law.
I got behind on my taxes and owed $48,000. I didn't know what to do. I called and they got my bill lowered to just $3,500.
I owed $87,000 in taxes and it was scary. I got the amount I owed down to just $3,500. I saved $83,500.
If you owe money to the IRS, don't wait another day. Call 800-934-9217 right now before the IRS enforces liens, levies, and other aggressive measures. The call and consult are absolutely free. Call now. Call 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217.
It's Coach Doug Christie here to remind you, if you want a deal that's a slam dunk, go see the winning team at Folsom Lake Ford. Folsom Lake Ford is your truck headquarters with all your American-made favorites, like America's best-selling F-Series, F-150s, and Super Duties, or spacious new Explorers and Expeditions, plus a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports, all in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. In the Folsom Auto Mall, you can buy any new Ford with zero down on approved credit, save big with low interest finance rates, and Folsom Lake Ford always pays top dollar for your trade. Check out the huge selection of inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership to see their most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. They'll help you out. Hurry to Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 35 years and counting.
We're recording this Progressive commercial on a real boat to let people know that when you bundle your home, boat, and other vehicles...
What was that, Flo?
Progressive saves you money, Jamie!
Why are we doing this on a boat?
We were going for authenticity!
We're going to the city?
Authenticity!
You mean Atlantic City? But we're not in the Atlantic! Are we?
Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
This segment is brought to you by Aztec Solar. Skip the sales pitch. Calculate your solar savings at yourpowersavings.com.
Give and go. Sabonis to Barnes. Kick out to the corner. Keegan again for three. Keegan scores it. And Sacramento is on top for the first time at 6-5. 3-point shots from Keegan Murray.
Kendra Andrews, Warriors. Jerry Bembry, Warriors. Jamal Collier, Warriors. Israel Gutierrez, Warriors. Chris Herring, Warriors. Tim Legler, Warriors.
Oh, not legs.
Tim McMahon, Warriors. Bobby Marks, Warriors.
Okay.
Dave McMenamin,
Oh, come on.
Warriors. Kevin Pelton, Warriors.
KP.
Jorge Sedano, Warriors. Mark J. Spears, Warriors.
What?
Andrew
That's
Lopez,
supposed to be our guy.
Kings. Andrew Lopez eats free in Sacramento.
That's right.
Andrew, I tagged him. We're trying to get Andrew on the show. Shout out Andrew Lopez, the only ESPN analyst, reporter, insider who gave the lowly Kings a chance.
I might have been one of those guys after that first Draymond backpack 3 because we were talking about that before.
I feel like you want to get the threes out early with Draymond because he ain't shooting them late.
That was the first basket of the game,
Literally,
right? Was that Draymond 3? And I'm like, no, come on.
This is how we're setting the tone.
That's
huh?
right.
Yeah, it was not great. Man, I'm disappointed to hear our guy Mark Spears didn't pick the Kings. We even got the Mark Spears "Let's Go Sacramento" thing, like the whole cut. And I'm a little disappointed that they didn't get more love. I mean, I understand they're the Warriors. I understand Malik wasn't out there, and I get it. I probably would have picked the Warriors too, to be honest. But I just with all those guys, I expected somebody to be on the King side. So yeah, shout out that one reporter.
Yeah, I mean, I guess again, if it's the whole Malik Monk thing, I get it. It would have been interesting to see. I just don't know how many people would have picked the Kings, even
regardless.
With Malik Monk.
Absolutely,
that's what's getting me. I don't think they're these numbers, these numbers that. I just highly
I agree with you.
Doubt that, and it, just in a game where the Kings just simply wanted it more. I think the Warriors they've been leaking oil for the last 2 years here, and they finally just hit E. From the 707, the Kings were more focused and determined last night than I've seen all season. Keegan, Fox, and Keon were all in a different dimension. Yes, they were. And some of the numbers here, Domantas Sabonis, he has 16 and 12. Harrison Barnes, 17 points. You had Keegan Murray, of course, with the 32 points, the burner, 8 for 13 from three-ball land. De'Aaron Fox, 24, 6 assists. He was distributing the basketball. He also had 2 steals. He had 2 steals. Keegan had 2 steals. Sabonis had 2 steals. And only one turnover out of Sabonis. I think that's huge. And you also had De'Aaron Fox with only 1 turnover as well. As a team, they had 8 to the Warriors, 16.
Do you know how many Wardell had? 6.
There you
6
go.
of them himself.
He will make some shots. Of course, he's Steph Curry, but he will eat that popcorn before the game.
That's
and
right.
he'll
behind the back.
He'll throw that thing away too.
Yeah.
He'll throw that thing away too. Trey Lyles, 7 points. I thought you would need a bigger night from Trey Lyles, but the starters just showed up. It's as simple as that. And that was really all the scoring up the bench. You had Davion that had 5. Davion was a +3 on the night. He was he 8 times, 17 minutes he played. Trey Lyles with 19 minutes. He had a steal. Trey had 2 assists. Trey also had 5 rebounds. Davion had 5 rebounds.
Yeah, how about that?
When you look at guys that aren't even playing that many minutes and they're walking away with 5 rebounds and numbers like that, that's just a team that wanted
Tenacity.
it more.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Warriors, they thought they could rest on their laurels and come in there and Steph will save us. And Steph said, it ain't the big 3. It's just big me.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
100%. And I think that's what the Kings' game plan was like, okay, if Wiggins wants to kill us, I guess we're going to have to live with that. If Kuminga is going to go crazy and drop another 30 ball, I guess that's going to be okay with us. But it was going to be anybody but Steph. And, we know that, in that game 7, I think Steph looked around and said to what you just kind of laid out, like, I think I need to kind of take this on my back. And he just didn't feel that until too late yesterday. And definitely shout out the Kings starters. Like you said, their bench really didn't score that much. I'm shocked. I would have thought that they had to have some level of bench production, but you're right. Like the hunger that shows from those guys. 6 boards. Davion Mitchell was the shortest guy out on the floor yesterday, maybe with the exception of Chris Paul, who he actually, interestingly enough, we talked about, Davion's minutes and him guarding Steph. They actually did the opposite. They matched Davion's minutes with Chris Paul almost exactly the entire game. And I think that was because they saw Chris Paul as a guy that they could attack. It was, that's an older guy. And I think in general, the Warriors looked slow and old yesterday.
Yeah.
Kings just looked hungrier. They looked faster. They clearly are much younger team as well. I'm shocked that the bench really wasn't even needed yesterday. But still, I mean, you got big contributions. I mean, the offensive rebounds to me too is the big underlying story of yesterday. We all knew about the offensive rebounds in that Warriors series last year. Of course, Kevon Looney, who also was very, very limited in the game, even though he did get a good amount of action, especially comparatively to where he's been getting. The Kings dominated the offensive boards. 8 rebounds offensively for Golden State, 15 for the Kings. They had 25 second chance points to the Warriors 9. That's how you win this game, and that's something De'Aaron Fox talked about at the end of Game 7. He said it's the little things that ended up stacking up and losing them games. They didn't let any of the little things slip by. They were getting deflections. They were diving on the floor for loose balls. Keegan, I saw, they got 2 jump balls yesterday from tie-ups. Like, they did a great job of just keeping that foot on the gas and just always being hungry, or understanding that there might have been a talent gap there, but they could win with their effort and just by wanting it more. And sometimes that kind of stuff can be intimidating. And I think the Warriors kind of saw how tough the Kings and how hard they were playing and said, I don't know if we have that in us anymore.
Yeah, and I don't know if it was in the third quarter or the second. I feel like it was the second. But there was a disgusting lineup that Steve Kerr cooked up.
Oh, my God.
Just because he had nothing else. Who was it? It was, I believe it was Kuminga, Looney, maybe Draymond and Moody. There was no Steph. There was no Klay.
Yeah.
And I don't even think there was a Wiggins out there. And at that point, I thought they're just looking for answers. They are literally looking for answers. Moses Moody, there's no way on this green earth that he only had 16 points. He's the only. Him and Kuminga were the only.
Man.
It says 2 for 4 from 3, Chris. That just can't be right. That man had at least 5 threes.
Yeah, he had the 3-point foul as well, which felt like it added to it as well.
And now hindsight is 2020. As worried as I was, and I see people on the text line and the Sac chat saying they were worried going into halftime. As worried as I was because the big 3 and really the Splash Bros hadn't gotten going. If you're the Kings, you're thinking, hey, we stuck to the plan. We let up a little bit offensively.
Yeah.
But if we lose this game because Moses Moody and Kuminga cooked us,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah. But, the Splash Bros, they're not going to be the ones that take us down the same way they did last season. So you look at some of these numbers, and Chris Paul, he gets to 18. The Kings just made guys unplayable. And I got to say this. I got to say this quickly. Trace Jackson Davis. I've hit on some things during this show, Chris. I think we're pretty close to 6 months, or we just passed 6 months. I've been hot on some things, and I've been right on the money on some things. But you, my friend, hit on the Trace Jackson Davis not being playable. Yeah. He was unplayable.
Yeah.
He was unplayable.
He's just too young. I think it was too big of a moment for him. Like, he's still a rookie. He doesn't really know how to handle those kind of situations. I think they should have. I'm honestly shocked. And I think if Steve Kerr could have gone back, you got to start Kuminga there. Like, start Kuminga and Wiggins, match HB and Keegan, and just run Draymond at the center. Like, he's the defensive matchup you want on Sabonis anyway. I just didn't get it. And by the way, Draymond made Sabonis' life incredibly difficult yesterday. I thought Sabonis did a good job, but Draymond a couple times slapping at the ball. I think he got a jump ball as well on a tie-up, or got a steal. That's what it was, a steal, and then Sabonis pushed him in the back. Yeah,
that was towards
really
the end
bad.
of the
Yes,
half.
and that's when things started to get a little sketchy because Draymond started yelling and Sabonis is upset. And like it kind of felt like that was a moment where things could have snowballed. But yeah, Trayce Jackson-Davis, I mean, you know, I think he's a good player. I really do. I just think it was too big of a moment for him. And, you know, that's the kind of game where, funny enough, I think ideally you'd like to lean on some of your more veteran guys like Kevon Looney and like, funny enough, Kuminga's at this point an older guy on their team. But really, I mean, the young guys were the ones, I mean, I'm more thinking Kuminga and Moody. If they didn't play yesterday, like the Warriors are getting completely blown out.
Yeah.
Completely blown out.
This is what we saw in games 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Last season, the Kings just ran him out the gym.
Yep.
They just ran him out the gym. And
Wiggins wasn't good enough either.
Wiggins.
Like, oh my gosh.
Wiggins.
We found our guy.
Yeah, we
HB.
found HB. Can we get a cutout of Wiggins somewhere? Because I don't know where that man went. And I know the Warriors and Warrior fans
Variants,
are looking for
man.
him.
They're scary.
We got the good one. We got the good one last night. And we're going to need the good one again on Friday. When we return, Will, we see you on the line taking your calls, your texts, your Sac Chat. We continue to break down last night's events. And what does this mean for Keegan Murray? Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Our first year as the radio home of the San Francisco 49ers is one we will never forget.
Going deep down the sideline for Ayu. He's got it, and he's gone. 10, 5, touchdown! San Francisco! Ayuk is on fire!
Congratulations to the 49ers on a terrific year. And thank you for so many wonderful memories.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kyle Draper here from Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. I tell everybody I know this is the greatest place ever to get yourself a new or pre-owned Mercedes-Benz. Their dedication to their customers is just incredible. And if you're a business owner, well, you need to know that this is also a Mercedes commercial van sales and service center. That's right. Mercedes-Benz vans, they are rugged. They'll haul anything you can put in them. And best of all, buying a Mercedes Sprinter van for work qualifies you for very generous tax breaks. I mean, who doesn't love a tax break, right? Well, 2023 Sprinters are available at rates as low as 4.9% APR. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, I'm telling you, you got to see their beautiful new showroom also. It's where I got my EQS. And I tell everybody I know that if you're going to roll in a Mercedes-Benz, get it from my good friends in Stockton. It's just a short drive right off the 5, a half hour from Sac, right at the 8 Mile Road exit. So head there right now or go online at mbofstockton.com.
I love a beautiful lawn. I hate doing lawn care. That's why I use True Green. They're the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour. And we all know those are some nice greens. So just imagine what they can do for your lawn. All you have to do is water and mow. And to top it off, when you sign up for an annual plan by April 20th, get one application free. Visit TrueGreen.com for the best lawn at the best price, guaranteed. Restrictions apply.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel will help you start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks. Words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue.
Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency on earth, and if you owe back taxes, the news isn't good. The IRS is raising the interest rate it charges on unpaid taxes, and further rate hikes are expected. Most people don't know it, but the IRS adds interest charges to your tax debts daily. So if you owe the IRS today, you'll owe even more tomorrow. And it doesn't stop until you get right with the IRS. The good news is getting right can start with one phone call to Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm. Optima's tax professionals specialize in the Fresh Start Initiative, a powerful IRS program that can save you thousands if you qualify. In fact, the experts at Optima have resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients. Call now for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hey there. Wanted to take a moment of your time so I could talk to you about insecurity. I could talk to you about confidence. I could talk to you about girth. Yeah, what? Girth? Yeah, okay. Let me tell you about the Upsize Clinic at UpsizeMatters.com. My good friend, Dr. Jack, and his friend, Dr. Pash in San Francisco, have a safe, effective, long-lasting doctor-performed procedure. It's non-surgical, virtually pain-free. Now listen, girth is consistently ranked as the most important attribute. What Dr. Jack and Dr. Pash are offering is a free consultation. The procedure can be done on the same day as your consultation and get that confidence back. Reset in the bedroom with your partner. Financing is available. It's very private. It's very discreet. Available in Roseville with Dr. Jack, in San Francisco with Dr. Pash, at UpsizeMatters.com. That's UpsizeMatters.com.
Sabonis ahead now, directing some traffic, gives to Keegan, no hesitation for three, and he scores his third triple. He's got 9 points, and the Kings lead it 9-8. The Keegan Murray Show.
We have some breaking news.
When it breaks,
we have it first.
It's Sactown Sports Breaking News.
Yes, this is from Adrian Wojnarowski. ESPN sources say Pelicans forward Zion Williamson's left hamstring will make him unavailable. He is out for Friday's play-in game elimination against the Sacramento Kings and will be reevaluated in the coming weeks. A huge, huge blow to the New Orleans Pelicans. I will say, shout out our guy Frankie Cardicelli, who put us on and let us know the Kings have played the Pelicans. One of their 5 matchups this year has been against a Zion-less Pelicans team, and the Kings lost by 33 in that game.
Yes.
So, ultimately, they've got more talent in this 33-point loss earlier without Zion. CJ was 11 of 16, 7 of 10 from 3. He had 30 points. That's a movie we've seen before. Brandon Ingram, 15 points. It was really a collective effort. Dyson Daniels had 14 in that one. Jordan Hawkins had 12 in that one. Jonas Valanciunas had 15. So no Zion on Friday, but doesn't necessarily lock you in for a win. But, boy, if the Kings can play with the effort they had last night without Zion, who has been just the biggest problem for the Kings this season, they have no answer for him at all. Definitely helps your feelings towards that game, and I'm sure it's going to help our friends out in Vegas as well.
Well, look, I think both teams are going to be feeling good about this. Obviously, the Pelicans would want Zion out there, of course. But if there was a team that the Pelicans would have to face when they've lost their last 2 and they're free-falling and they're missing their best player, it's a team that they've beaten 5 times.
Exactly.
So the Pelicans aren't going to be that distraught about this. At the same time, the Kings have to feel somewhat better about not having to deal with Zion. Maybe you get the ball. Brandon Ingram, I believe, is on some type of minutes restriction. I don't know if that will be lifted on Friday. Maybe now it will be with Zion out. But I was talking to someone last night, Chris, and we're getting ready for the Kings game. Someone told me last night that Brandon Ingram came out of the game against the Lakers when it was tied.
Wow.
Due to the minutes restriction. So they get 2
so they're
days.
tight on that.
Yeah, they get 2 days. Obviously, they get Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday leading up to the game. Who knows what's going to happen? But Brandon Ingram will play. It's just a matter of how much. And we know that CJ McCollum, you didn't draft me. CJ, you didn't draft me, McCollum. He's going to have some things to say. Jose Alvarado, it was so frustrating. Yeah. It's been so frustrating watching the Pelicans these last couple games look like a normal team. Alvarado ain't hitting transition triples like Klay Thompson in his prime before Klay Thompson appeared. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So if you're just now joining us, Stiles and Watkins, Zion is out. Zion is out. We are waiting to see if Brandon Ingram will still be on that minutes restriction that he was on.
He played
last
23
night.
minutes.
He played 23 minutes.
Can I ask a question about minutes restriction?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
It's imposed by your own team, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So by your own team's doctors, what is stopping Brandon Ingram from staying out there when they're tied at that point in the game?
Not just the coach. I mean, it's a coach's decision.
Yeah.
But that seems like, correct me if I'm wrong, the wrong decision.
It feels like why play him at all to me.
Sure.
Yes, minutes restriction is crazy. Football, maybe it makes more sense. It's not the same. It's a snap count.
Right. Yeah.
But dude, that is like it's do or die pretty much for the Pelicans.
Yeah.
I think this is one of those where they say, like, you know, if this was a playoff game, he'd be playing. And like, since it is, he's playing. But like regular season, he's probably missing time.
That's a good
but
point. That's a good point.
Any Brandon Ingram is better than no Brandon Ingram. And especially if Zion's not going to be out there, like, I'd be surprised if Brandon Ingram's minutes restriction doesn't just go out the door because there's no point in limiting his minutes if there is no tomorrow. The Pelicans had the benefit of having that game.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe they felt like, hey, if we lose,
you're going to need him.
We just smacked the Warriors, and we keep smacking the Kings. Look, bold strategy, Cotton. Hope it works out for you, but that's a great point, Chris. I mean, it was not win or go home for them, and now it will be. And
they're down a star.
And now they're down a star. So look, breaking news: Zion is out. The word is out that Zion is out.
The word is out.
And I don't even think that I want to spend too much time on the minutes restriction because what else can you ask for if you're the Kings?
Right.
You got past the Warriors in convincing fashion. Things are starting to look up for you. Yes, you're still missing Malik and Kevin Huerter, but Zion is out, and he has been a problem. And that you won't have to see Zion, that left hand, you won't have to see any of it on Friday. Let's open up the phone lines, 916-339-1140. Going to talk to Will. Will, what you got for us?
What's up, man? What's up? Hey, man, look. Don't be mean. Don't be mad at me.
Uh-oh.
But I was saying to myself, damn, man, you know, what if Zion go outside, a tree fall on his big old dominant foot, man? Because we have nothing, you know, to stop Zion, you know. But I'm sad for the guy.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, we got injuries too. You know, we got my boy Malik. He's out. But Keegan met the moment last night. The King. Let me tell you something, man. Keon Ellis is a stabilizing force, man. The guy. I mean, I see guys really playing defense, feeding off of Keon.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can see. And this is my question for you guys, Stiles and Watkins. Why did it take Coach Brown 2 years to see this guy can ball? I mean, he's got it all, man. We're worrying about him shooting threes. The guy's consistent. I think he have a better percentage than anybody on the team as far as shooting threes. And then, I mean, we see guys. You know, we had Gabe Vincent, we got Keon. We just got to keep balling, man, because I think if we got to get a Charles Barkley type guy next year to go up against guys like Zion, man, because I think we're going to beat them without Zion. Because my man, the other guy who minute restrictions, that he doesn't look the same. I don't think he's back. I don't think there's something else wrong. There's something else wrong. He don't look like himself, man. I mean, I think we're going to win this game. But you know, don't get on the writers because they didn't pick the Kings, man. You have to go with logic, man. I mean, the Warriors, all them championships, and you know, and we don't have the experience, you know, and everything. So if I'm putting money on it, I would have had to bet against the Kings, but they won. I'm happy. They won, Styles.
I know. Thanks for the call, Will. We're up against it. Look, we get why they picked them, but we can still enjoy the fact that they were wrong, and they were wrong, and they were wrong. Yeah. For the Keon piece of this, Keon got some time early, right? It felt like a deep rotation, and guys were trying to get in. And let's not pretend, or let's not take away from the G League part of this organization and what Lindsey Harding has done and what that staff has done. Keon, I would assume, was not this guy 2 years ago. You know what I mean? He continues to develop. He continues to improve. So even from the beginning of this season, so we're just watching it in real time. I don't think he got dropped in from Alabama looking like this, okay? Even when, and Mike Brown talked about it in the postgame, even when they were thinking of converting him, they really didn't know what they truly had, and what they have is a diamond in the rough who is turning into a star right before our eyes. Brian, we see you. Got to pay some bills. We will be right back, and we will take your call expeditiously. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
You're going to feel a puff of air.
Jong's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell our 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
When I want to stretch out after a long day, my sofa needs to be comfortable, but it also needs to look attractive and inviting when guests come to visit. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. We spend so much time on our living room sofas that we forget they're a focal point and a hint to our decorating tastes. Right now, during Naturewood Home Furnishings sofa sale, you can save on every sofa, including gallery-exclusive custom-ordered FlexSteel furniture. Whether you're interested in a new sofa, sectional, or recliner, you can choose from hundreds of colors and fabrics. Nobody has more styles and choices than Naturewood Home Furnishings. And when it comes right down to it, it's all about choices and always about quality. Shop Naturewood for the look you love at a price you'll love even more. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings right now for this remarkable sofa sale. Off Highway 50 at Hazel, look for the water wheel.
ZZ Top, the Elevation Tour. Friday, May 3rd, 7:30 p.m., the venue at Thunder Valley with special guest, Foghat. ZZ Top, playing all their classic hits. The venue at Thunder Valley. For tickets, visit ThunderValleyResort.com.
Have you made a mistake in your past that you want removed from your record? At the Gonzalez Law Office, we know that good people make mistakes. Restore your rights. Clear your record. Call us at 916-304-9187. That's 916-304-9187 or at SacLegalDefense.com. Do you have a pending criminal case or injured in an accident? At the Gonzalez Law Office, we handle all criminal and injury cases. We don't settle for less, and neither should you. Call the Gonzalez Law Office at 916-304-9187 or visit us at at saclegaldefense.com.
You've been waiting all winter for the snow to melt and the golf course to awaken. It's time for your long-awaited spring golf getaway to Plumas Pines Golf Resort in beautiful Gray Eagle, California. The golf course opens April 19th, so the timing is perfect to take advantage of Plumas Pines Spring Special. You can walk the course for $75 or ride for $90, available 7 days a week through May 23rd. Beneath towering pines adjacent to the Feather River, Plumas Pines Golf Resort offers a spectacular round of mountain golf. You'll love the grandeur of the Sierra, the calmness of Gray Eagle, and a wonderful test of golf at Plumas Pines with spring special rates of $75 to walk and $90 to ride 7 days a week until May 23rd. Make your reservation at plumaspinesgolf.com. Whether you visit for the day or stay a few days, Plumas Pines Golf Resort will make your play memorable. Visit plumaspinesgolf.com and make your tee time reservations for the spring special rates available 7 days a week. That's plumaspinesgolf.com.
Maida Chevy saves you $10,000 off MSRP on every new 2024 half-ton Silverado, LT, RST, and LTZ in stock after rebate. Over 50 to choose from.
Exclusive all in-stock pricing at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See deal for details. Ends 4/30/24. KHTKAM Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Should we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sactown Sports.
This segment is brought to you by Aztec Solar. Skip the sales pitch. Calculate your solar savings at yourpowersavings.com.
Sabonis throws down to the left corner to Barnes, fakes the three, drives on Draymond, shoulders for space, squares up the floater, no good. Stick back to Aaron Fox. He came out of nowhere on the left handle, and he was above the iron to poke it down off the miss. Spectacular timing on the part of De'Aaron Fox, and the Kings have a 3-point lead at 11-8.
We out here trying to function. You know, back in the day when you would be at a house party, I don't know if they called it this, Chris, in your time, but they call it a function, right?
Yeah, that was
you go into
right
the
before
function.
my high school.
You out to the function tonight. Well, the Kings shut down the function for the Warriors. That's what happened. As they end the Warriors season and possibly their dynasty, our guy Sam Amick reporting that there will be interest in Klay Thompson from the Dallas Mavericks. They are not scared off by that glazed donut performance of a 0 of what Klay Thompson put up. Obviously, we know Klay's great. We're just having some fun here. 916-339-1140. Also, breaking news if you're just now joining us, Zion Williamson is OUT. He is out on Friday. Before you get too excited, the Kings, in one of their 5 losses to the Pelicans, one of their worst losses was with Zion out. They lost by a 30-piece to – Chris, was that in New Orleans or that was at home?
It was – let me see here real quick. It was at home.
Okay.
In Golden One Center.
You got that going for you.
Yeah.
It won't be at home this time.
It was
And
a really
by the way,
weird game, though. I'm looking at it here. De'Aaron was 1 of 10 in that game. Keegan was 2 of 9 in that game. Chris Duarte started that game. That was during the period of time where Kevin Huerter was coming off of the bench. He was 6 of 10. He actually was the Kings' leading scorer in that one.
And by the way, if there's anywhere you need to go or have to go to play an away game, and look, the Kings might lose.
I know where you're going.
The Kings might lose. Don't get me wrong. They've lost 5 times already. As far as hostile environments, I just don't think New Orleans is that high on the list. And I just don't think a place called the Smoothie King Center is a place that anyone is ever going to be afraid of.
Bro, you're right.
I was
gonna
we got to go to the Smoothie King Center.
Honestly, there's no bigger joke.
Can I get a
stadium
razzmatazz while I'm there?
Center.
Can I get a strawberry surf rider while I'm there? I mean, come on.
Crazy.
916-339-1140. Let's get to Brian, who wants to talk Kings and Sabonis. What's up, Brian? What you got for us?
Hey, how you doing, man? Thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely. Of course.
I just wanted to give an attaboy to Arvydas Sabonis, man, because I've been a Kings fan my whole life. And I got to tell you, man, the last time he got fouled, he got his third foul and picked it up. The way he looked and the way he said, I don't depend on the refs. Tonight's enough is enough. How could that not inspire the rest of the team? And even when you're shorthanded, I just got to say that, man, these guys are going to pull together. You got Mike Brown, that's a great guy. And I'm just excited to see what happens next. Let's keep the beam lit. And nothing better than listening to Gary Gerald.
Absolutely.
Thank you for my call.
Anytime, Brian. Anytime.
Thanks for the call, Brian.
That was a first. I've never heard somebody accidentally call Domantas Sabonis Arvydas.
Yeah. Hey, he knows ball. He knows ball. We do know that. Well, let's get it. Let's start the conversation as far as what Brian had to say. Do you feel like Sabonis exercised his Warriors demons last night? Because it wasn't a crazy game. It was. Funny enough, wasn't it similar to the average numbers that he put up in the series?
Yeah, that's interesting. It was more assists, and I think that was the thing that we talked about a lot with the roundtable yesterday is his teammates kind of let him down in that playoff series that made his numbers look a little bit worse than what they are. But yeah, pretty much like in that playoffs last year, Sabonis was, let's get these numbers here. He was about 16 points per game, about 12 rebounds, and about 5 assists. And last night he had 16 points. I think he had 12 rebounds and he had 7 assists.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much exactly what he did. I don't feel like he really exercised any demons. I think he definitely feels good about his performance. He didn't lay an egg. He also made sure that Kevon Looney didn't have crazy offensive rebounds. Trace Jackson-Davis was a non-factor. Draymond really never got much of his offense going. So I think he feels good about his performance, but like, is he leaving that game with supreme confidence? Like, I just conquered the world. I just did the thing that, haunted me all summer. I don't think so, but I think he still probably feels fine about the overall performance. Like, he didn't lay an egg. He went, I think I was tracking it. He went like 0-4, 0-5 from the mid-range. So, the thing that everyone kind of wanted, and he missed the 3 as well. So, like, the things that I think people wanted him to do to improve over the season, I don't think happened. But at the same time, it was good enough for the team to win. And I mean, cliche, but like ultimately that's kind of what matters.
Yeah.
And he still played good.
Right.
It's just, I think
literally what he did during the series.
We would count this as just a normal Sabonis. 16, 12, and 7 is literally a normal Sabonis night.
And what I would counter with is how many nights where Sabonis had triple doubles and the Kings lost. We said, what's the point of that?
Exactly.
If he's putting up triple doubles and you can't even get the W. So I would say, hey, maybe he didn't put a stamp on it. And by the way, Kevin O'Connor had a lot to say, and I'm trying to get Kevin on the show. We keep tagging him. He had some things to say about Keon. Now all of a sudden he's on the Keon train. So even the biggest Kings haters are showing love to the Kings. And I think Domas just feels, as the leader he is, just like the caller mentioned, that hey, maybe I didn't get my triple double, and everybody isn't saying, man, he really did his thing against the Warriors and took down that dragon. But we got the W, and I got my double-double, and that's really all that matters. 916-339-1140. Let's get out to Ken, who wants to be a part of the conversation. What's up, Ken? You're on Stiles and Watkins. What you got?
What it do? Hey, what it do, man? I called yesterday, man, until the Kings fans had their pom-poms up.
That's
man.
right. That's right.
And had their pom-poms up, man. So, because all we had to do was just win. That's all we had to do. Yesterday's win was a victory for everybody. Man, for Sacramento Kings fans, for the team, for the coaches and everything, man, because nobody's talking that talk about getting rid of the coach and the coach is not coaching right. Yesterday was a new beginning. People don't realize that. Yesterday's game had nothing to do with the regular season. Guess what? We was fresh on everything. 100% free throw shooting team, 100% three-point shooting team. Guess what? Everything transpired like it was supposed to. Everything yesterday was new to everybody, new to the Golden State Warriors, new to the Sacramento Kings. It was a pressure, man, that we all had to lead into and see how we came out. And we came out victorious, man. Listen, it was coached well. It was played well. Stephen A. Smith talking about Fox has to get 40 points. Sabonis got to get the triple-double. Guess what? Last night proved we don't need all that. All we need is togetherness, man, for the team to play together, man, and on point. Man, last night was beautiful. The crowd was in pandemonium. Hey, man, they was cheering from the first basket from Curry's boo-boo 3. You know what I'm saying? The boo-boo 3 to start off, and then we made our 3 with Keegan Murray.
That's right.
And then we was on our way, man. And I like to say, man, Sacramento Kings fans, man, keep pom-pomming. Listen, man, this is a new season, new beginning. I see y'all next Sunday at the Golden One Center, man. And I'm out. Love y'all.
Thanks for the call, Ken. Always keeping the vibes positive. And,
Sunday.
the Kings are going to have an opportunity. And now, Chris, what was it that you said yesterday? The Warriors now move to 0-3 in the play-in. I know they were 0.
Right.
Were they 0-2?
Yeah, they were 0-2. That's right.
Now they're 0-3. And what Ken is talking about, how Stephen A was saying De'Aaron needed to have 40.
Right.
And there's been some back and forth because I think it was Kendrick Perkins came down the road of Shaq and Barkley based on something they said on TNT, saying these dudes don't watch games, right? And then Shaq came back and said, well,
Fool, you don't either.
Well, he said, can a Hall of Famer talk to a non-Hall of Famer about something like that? And really, I know he that's what he's going to go to.
That's the equivalent of rings.
And to that point, they didn't understand, national media, the defense that the Kings had been playing lately, because they just assumed it was going to be, like you said, a shootout. And if it was a shootout, you would need a triple-double from Sabonis.
Yes.
You would need Fox to drop 40. But that's not how they've been competing lately. I can't say winning because they haven't necessarily been winning. But that's how they've been getting leads and getting and putting themselves in good positions lately. So they did not understand that.
Yeah.
And that's what we saw last night. There are some insane clips of just dudes on the Kings flying around.
Yeah.
The rotations were crispier than my hairline.
That's
I had to get cut up
That's
last night. Chris, I see you got cut up too.
Yes, sir.
Had to stay crispy.
Had to.
They are moving around. They are grooving around. And the Warriors, that's why Klay couldn't get going. We have some numbers about Keegan, the open threes, right? And the amount of open threes that Keegan hit. The Warriors did not really have open shots.
No, they didn't.
They never. What did we talk about it being a shooter's arena and Golden One Center and the 3-point percentage? Dudes felt comfortable throughout the season. They were uncomfortable last night. Uncomfortable.
Yeah, no, I think that was the big thing is the Kings. I mean, they were just so physical. Like, I mean, and I think it was a bit on both sides too, but anytime anyone was attacking the rim, the Kings were doing great verticalities. They always had some sort of hands in faces or something like that. Guys would help off. Keon got a couple blocks just helping off of guys. Kuminga, Wiggins trying to get little floaters or fallaways into the paint. Keon got that block on Steph right at the buzzer of the third quarter. They were just incredibly active. De'Aaron got a couple on-ball steals. Keon stripped Steph.
Yes.
They were just...
Give me them cookies.
They were on, and, like, when you do stuff like that, that's demoralizing. Like, we talked yesterday about how the Warriors demoralize people with their threes and getting momentum. Draymond starts yelling. Steph starts night-nighting, and everybody starts getting tense. They get tight. People get nervous. You start missing shots. The Kings' way of putting pressure on was literally putting pressure on the ball and making sure the Warriors, like you said, they were just never comfortable. They felt like, you know, if I'm open for a second, there's going to be a body that's touching me anytime, and I don't know which direction it's going to come from, and they just felt uncomfortable. I mean, Klay, that's a whole separate story. He had a lot of open looks that he just shanked, but specifically with Steph, they just beat the hell out of him all game, and that's exactly what you had to do. And again, just another perfectly executed thing by this team.
When we return, continuing the conversation, what this means for Keegan Murray and his future. Jay, we see you. Hang on. We're getting to you right when we get back. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The only place you'll find Keegan Murray is Sactown Sports.
Out to Keegan Murray, straight away for three, and Keegan knocks down the triple.
Hey, Sacramento, it's Keegan Murray, and you're listening to the home of Sacramento Kings, Sactown Sports.
Your local sports leader. We all know what UV rays can do to our skin, but they can also do damage to your car. Keep that from happening with 303 Protectant. 303 Protectant keeps the sun's harmful rays from causing fading and cracking in rubber, plastic, or vinyl surfaces. From the dashboard to the tires, 303 Protectant keeps your car looking new longer. Get 303 Protectant today at Advanced Auto Parts. Visit 303radio.com for more information.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code MONTHFREE by May 31st. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Kuminga drives to the left baseline, reaches inside. Ball may have been deflected by Lyles. It's grabbed by Sabonis. Weaves his way up the floor, kicks to the corner. Harrison Barnes, he's got the triple from the deep left corner. The Black Falcon. Woo! Timeout taken by Steve Kerr. Sacramento leading by 14 at 36-22 early in the second.
That call from G-Man was outstanding. And that
was an
in
rhythm call.
Yes. I said, Nate, that was live? And they said, yeah, that was live.
A call!
Yeah. G-Man.
That's the greatest.
Feeling
man.
good.
So funny.
Feeling good, living
Yeah.
better. And that's what Keegan Murray was doing. 32 points, 9 rebounds, 8 of 13. Does anybody call in? Anybody lose your voice from saying Keegan Murray? Anybody lose your voice? Because there was a lot of that. And by the way, it was so loud in Golden One Center that around the league, people were talking about how awesome the Keegan Murray chant is and how it's probably the best chant in all of basketball, Chris.
Incredible.
In all of basketball.
Just wait until they hear the Domantas Sabonis chant.
That's right. Well, Dave was there.
Yeah.
Dave was leading it. He was doing a towel twirl.
Is he really?
I tried to catch it on video. I caught the end of it, the towel twirl. I caught the end of it. And yeah, people are starting to learn today.
Yeah.
Just like Kevin Hart said, you're going to learn today. You're going to continue to learn.
You hear that, free agents? You can get a cool chant. If
That's
you just
right.
Take
We
less
got
money
the
to come here.
The chants are outstanding. You can golf with Malik Monk.
That's right.
You can golf with Alan Stiles, and
Sure.
you can golf with Chris Watkins
Why not?
as well. And we'll make you feel really good about your
Right.
game.
Yeah.
How about that? 916-339-1140. Let's get to Jay, who's been hanging on. What's up, Jay? What you got for us?
What up, man? Thanks you guys for taking my call. I just want to show some love to Mike Brown last night, man.
Yeah.
I think the switch on having Fox on Draymond was huge. I don't think Golden State expected it. And I knew Coach had some tricks up his sleeve, you know, and heading into the Pelican game, I think he's going to have to pull some of those out again. Maybe some Lynn and some Bonus on the court together. I mean, with Zion out, it's a little different now, but hey, man, Coach Brown deserves some love because I know I've been very, very critical of his coaching and rotations at times, but you got to show love when the love's there.
Thanks for the call, Jay. That's great stuff. That's great stuff.
Yeah.
And that is what I have learned or understood Sacramento fans, or not to generalize, but a lot of Sacramento fans to be. They'll be hard on you, but when they feel like you deserve it, whether that's warranted or not, but when you come through for them, they'll give you flowers. And Mike Brown has taken a lot of flack. It's been a tough year and not what everybody expected out of this team. There have been injuries, things like that. But good on Jay and good on anybody who can sit there and say, hey, man, he balled out last night, because that was huge. Golden State did not expect that. And, Chris, I'll let you kind of speak to it. When we got out of the pregame presser, you said that compared to last season and maybe specifically the Game 7 in the postseason, Mike Brown, the quiet confidence was oozing off of him.
Yeah.
He just felt like and this is really who he's been all season long.
Yeah.
I put in this game plan. I'm going to let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, no, I didn't really know how to properly word it, but like it was just, I think calm confidence is probably the right, especially in hindsight, looking back at it, like it's probably the right phrasing. Because, you know, Mike Brown, we've been in many a Mike Brown press conference, post game. He's got some energy to him, like always hyped, or, you know, he'll see a familiar face, or someone will spark a question that really intrigues him, and he'll be very vibrant, expressive, super detailed. And yesterday, it's not that he wasn't detailed. It's not that he was short. It's not that he was even like angry or stern or anything. But again, just like a really calm, confident, never like just kind of always talking here and you know, yeah, we just got to go out there, take care of business, whatever. And I wasn't sure how to read it. I wasn't sure if this was okay, like he's pretty nervous about how today's going to go, or if it was like you said, and I think it ended up panning out, he was just like, I feel like I know what we need to do. I feel like our guys know what they need to know. We just got to go out there and do it. And again, it was a perfectly executed game plan from Davion's minutes to, Steph De'Aaron being switched onto Draymond. Me and Brendan were talking about it during the game. Like, it really allowed so that when Draymond sets that screen, they have the ability to switch. It's almost like pre-switching. You're going to get, Draymond's going to set the screen and you know, you're going to get the initial Keon or Keegan off of Steph. but you're going to get De'Aaron onto him. And so instead of having Sabonis on Steph and then putting Sabonis on an island, it's just that chessboard, that chess piece that you use to try and be a step ahead. And I think that was a huge thing for not only Steph struggling to get involved, but also his teammates struggling to get involved. Draymond really killed the Kings last year on those 3-on-2s where the Kings would blitz Steph high at the half court line, and then Draymond would get the ball like right at the free throw line extended, and it would be either Draymond floater, you would have somebody running for a lob, or you'd have a wide open guy in the corner. The Warriors maybe got to that like 2 or 3 times yesterday.
Right.
And the Kings, there's no stat for it, but it felt like they broke up like 5 or 6 lobs last night.
They did.
Yeah.
And when they did get to it, that shot in the corner, it was either Draymond, who you're going to live with,
That's right.
or Chris Paul, who prior to last night was shooting 14%
Wiggins, man.
against the Warriors or against the Kings from 3-ball land. And I'm thinking now, Chris, as he prepares to go to Brooklyn, you got 2 brilliant defensive minds on that coaching staff with Mike Brown and Jordy Fernandez. Maybe Jordy also had something to do with the decision to put De'Aaron on Draymond, and they really, really weren't prepared for it. If you're just now joining us, Zion Williamson is out. He will be out on Friday, and the Kings will have a little bit of an easier go on paper, but they've lost to they've lost to every version of the Pelicans. They've lost to the Pelicans with no Brandon Ingram.
Right.
But Zion, they've lost to the Pelicans. Every Rubik's Cube combination you can come up with, the Pelicans have lost or have beaten the Kings. But will that continue moving forward as the Kings will have a 6th shot at this, and the most important one on Friday? Let's get to Steven, who wants to be a part of the conversation. What's up, Steven? What you got for us?
Man, a whole lot. Pardon me.
You're good.
Man, dude, what a game last night, man. I was telling the boys this morning on the morning show, man. I ran outside as soon as the game was over so I could see that beam being lit from my house, man, because it was awesome. Nice and thick and extra bright, real like in Dave's terms, nice and girthy.
Oh,
So okay. I mean, dude, 14 points by Keegan. He was 4 for 7 in the first quarter. That was absolutely explosive. That was some of the stuff that we were looking for. I'm super stoked about that. Now they had a shot real quick. Now here's my question. They had a shot of Mike Brown, and Mike got live. Okay. He was really active in the voice, Is he always that popping on the sideline? Like, is he always screaming at the top of his absolute lungs and just being always so eccentric? Like, is he always like that? Because, man, when he was trying to get these boys back on D, man, I thought he was going to pop a blood vessel going, letting them know. So,
yeah. No, thanks for the call as always, Steven. He definitely has his moments, and I would say
he got that tech a couple weeks ago from like running all the way to the other side of the floor.
Right. And there was one play, and I said it to Chris, I think it was Wiggins I believe it was Keegan on Wiggins, and Wiggins just blew by Keegan. And I said, that was the worst defense I've ever seen. And as I finished saying, the ball had barely gone in the basket, and Mike just stomps onto the court and
he was
calls
already
the
at the free throw line. He was like, no.
He was already there. Continuing the conversation when we return. Mike, we see you from the 707. We will get to you right after this. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings did it. They eliminated the Warriors and kept their season alive.
They swing it to Keegan, going for another one. He hits it from the line drive on the right wing. That's the 8th three-pointer that Keegan Murray has made in 13 attempts. He has 32 points.
Now, they need to do it again on Friday in New Orleans. Kings and Pelicans, Friday at 6:30 on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
The PGA Club fitters at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio know that golf should be fun. They also know that players of all abilities will hit the ball farther and straighter, play better golf, shoot lower scores, and have more fun if they get fitted before they purchase golf clubs. Hagen Oaks delivers the same technology and major brands used to fit PGA and LPGA professionals. See how the game can be even more fun. Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio fittings are available 7 days a week. Make yours today by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531.
Grab the keys to a new Toyota.
Explore more this season in California with Toyota's legendary reliability. Shop a wide selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs, including more hybrids and plug-in hybrids than any other brand. Right now, get low 3.99% APR financing on the spacious Highlander, or check out great lease deals on the stylish Camry, sporty Corolla, and dynamic RAV4. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available on 2024 models through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit, excludes hybrids and Sport 3024.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Tub Shed, New Dawn Treatment Sensors, and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers. Elevate your golf game at Timber Creek Golf Course in Roseville. Just named to the prestigious Golfer's Choice 2024 Top 25 Public Golf Courses in all of California by Golf Pass, Timber Creek offers an unparalleled experience. Our revamped practice facility features a grass driving range, expanded putting greens, and a chipping area complete with sand traps. Whether you're a pro or just starting your golf journey, Timber Creek is the place to be. Visit us and discover why we're the talk of Sacramento and beyond. Unwind and tee off at Timber Creek Golf Course.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
You don't just provide cookie-cutter portfolios?
No, we tailor our clients' portfolios to their goals and needs.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission-based products. We're a fiduciary, the highest standard of care for a financial advisor. It means we're obligated to act in our clients' best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we have one transparent management fee structured, so we do better when our clients do better.
Sounds like you really look out for your clients.
We do, because our priority is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments. Clearly, different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Seems like all this artificial intelligence stuff stirs up the age-old debate of man versus machine. Hi, it's Dan from the Good Feet store, and let me ask you, would you let a robot cut your hair? Would you rely on an app to teach a kid to ride a two-wheeler? Let's face it, some things require the human touch. People come to us seeking a solution to foot, leg, and back pain after trying all kinds of things recommended by in-store machines or website blurbs. An impersonal, generic approach to solving a problem that's unique to you. No wonder they usually don't work. At the Good Feet store, you'll meet with an arch support specialist who will take the time to learn about your needs, your feet, your lifestyle, and then fit you from over 300 models and sizes of arch supports, designed for pain relief, better balance, and more comfort. See what we can do for you with a free fitting. Just stop in or schedule an appointment. With over 200 stores, there's likely one near you. Find yours at goodfeet.com.
Everybody needs good feet.
Only one radio program captures the excitement of hunting and fishing as it happens. The award-winning California Sportsman with Sep Hendrickson. Only California Sportsman takes you where the action is. Live on the water, live in the blind, and live with the top pros and experts in outdoor sports. California Sportsman with Fishing Hall of Famer Sep Hendrickson is your premier destination for all things outdoors. Sep's Saturday Morning Outdoors. Ultimate Bass and California Sportsman, 5 a.m. to 8 a.m. Saturdays on Sactown Sports 1140.
Here comes Draymond, sets up the alley-oop. The conversion attempt is missed by Wiggins. Rebound, steered out to Fox. He feeds it now to Keon Ellis. He spots up. Three's on the way. He's got the triple. Keon Ellis, surprisingly to some, shooting better than 40% from downtown in this breakout season for him. 46-32 in favor of the Kings.
This is from a piece Sam Amick wrote. And Chris, we did talk about this and how it's kind of the inverse of the discussion of whether or not you feel better about the Kings season because of who they beat. Even if they lose to the Pelicans Friday, will it change how you feel? Maybe. Now I got to wait to see what they do against the Pelicans. But We talked about this on the airways. If they lost to the Warriors again, specifically the Warriors, could something crazy, and I've talked about it on off night, I'll be doing off night tomorrow night, could something crazy happen, right? If the Kings lose to the Warriors, could Vivek hit the panic button and do something that you might regret, right? Sam Amick writes in his piece on The Athletic, you can check it out. He's one of our guys for sure. In the here and now, though, this Kings win mattered because Brown found a way to avoid a repeat fate that might have sent Ronadive into the darkest of holes, given his well-chronicled Warriors-centric ethos and the elevated expectations that came with the Kings' surprise success a year ago. There's no way of knowing how he might have reacted if the Lakeup and his Warriors danced on their graves again.
Yeah, I mean, Sam is arguably the most plugged in person with this team. I absolutely hear what he's saying, and anybody who's followed this team, you don't even have to be that plugged in. If you followed this team throughout really Vivek's ownership, you've known that there's some erratic behavior can definitely be a tendency of his tenure here. I mean, whether it's head coaches or going all in when teams probably shouldn't have gone all in, and just. I even think of the Kings bringing back Luke Walton for that half season where it was very obvious it wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to work. And they just kind of brought him along because, I mean, there was a lot of reports that Vivek didn't want to pay another coach. So I think that there's a lot of things that have gone on with the Ronadive ownership time. But definitely, like, if the Kings would have lost, Sam's pointed it out perfectly. If this thing would have gone down specifically to the Warriors with Joe Lakeup, we saw Joe Lakeup sitting courtside at the game last night, it would have been pretty bad. And I could imagine I was afraid about our callers and our listeners being erratic. No. I can't imagine how many people would have been in Vivek's ear like, oh my God, what a disappointment. What do we do? What do we do? Are we okay? Do we need to do something? And I do think it's a lot of that noise around him that leads him to say, we have to do something. I'm not going to sit back and watch my team fall. I don't want to be embarrassed. I think there's a lot of things that go into it, but absolutely. I mean, if they lost yesterday, I'm not saying it would have happened, but everything would have been on the table. You realistically couldn't say we briefly tuned in to Bay Area radio this morning. They're talking about trading Steph Curry potentially. And they're more framing it in a, do we lean into a youth movement with Kuminga and Moody, or do we continue to try and run it back? But I say that to say, if the Kings would have lost, I'm not saying it would have happened, but I do think, do we have to have a conversation about Domantas Sabonis' future in Sacramento, De'Aaron Fox's future, everybody's future in Sacramento would have been questioned.
Yeah, if Keegan Murray put up a stinker last night, there would have been some crazy thoughts.
Sure.
Right? There would have been some crazy thoughts. There will probably still be some crazy calls and crazy thoughts this summer, but it would have been bad if the Kings went all bad last night. We're about to get to Mike here, but I did want to say this just on the Sac Chat, which is going crazy today. Shout out to all of you. Beamer, Beams, or Beamley says, yeah, but either way, regardless of win or loss, Vivek got to go into the luxury tax for Monk at least. We did this breakdown last week. We will say this again. It's not a matter of Vivek just giving Monk whatever he wants.
Right.
They cannot.
Yep.
They aren't allowed to.
Yeah.
Per the NBA and the NBA rule book, they are stuck at $17 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
It is not Vivek's decision.
Right.
It's not his decision. I repeat, it's not. If somebody offers more than Vivek, he cannot say, well, I want to give Monk this.
Yes.
That is not his choice.
Yep.
All right?
Yep.
Okay, 916-339-1140. Let's get to Mike. Wants to be part of the conversation. What's up, Mike? What you got for us?
Oh, I'm just loving the show.
Thank you.
Watching the Pelicans and the Lakers last night, and then going to the pregame between the Warriors and Katie and Kyle and Morgan, they were talking about what a force that Kuminga was going to be, and that Kings had no answer for him. And I'm like, well, the same Chris Paul, the same Kuminga, and the same Klay Thompson showed up. I don't think they even made it out of the locker room.
Mm-hmm.
That was just. I hope we're having the same conversation on Monday, because, like you guys said, the Kings have not had that combination to beat the Pelicans, no matter who was playing and who wasn't. But man, I hope we're having this conversation on Monday. And Keon Ellis, every time I look at him, the only word that comes to mind is relentless.
Mm-hmm.
The guy is just on one all the time. He seems so focused. And Keegan Murray, I just, when it's on national TV and they hear the background of Keegan Murray and Domantas Sabonis, it's like, what the hell is going on in Sacramento? Well, stick in and watch.
That's right. That's right. Thanks for the call, Mike. Great stuff. Yeah, and hopefully the Pelicans do have something, or the Kings have something for the Pelicans that they have not had before, or the Pelicans have something as in not shooting 60% from three-point land and playing out of their mind. They look like two completely different teams when they play the Kings. So you got to think, I mean, Chris, you talk about whether it's roulette, whether it's kids. I've seen people with 2 girls. I've seen people with 2 boys. I've seen people with 4 girls. I've seen people with 4 boys. 6 boys or 6 girls?
Come on.
It doesn't seem possible. It doesn't. It can't happen. Does anybody know somebody with 6 girls or 6 boys? It has to. I know 5. I've seen 4.
Yeah. Yep. My dad's one of 5 boys. Yeah.
But not 6.
Not 6, though.
Not 6.
Not 6.
Not
We're getting
7.
to LeBron. Yeah. Not 6. Not 7.
It can't happen.
It can't.
It cannot happen.
Continue that. One team. One season cannot beat you 6 times. This is not baseball. Okay?
Literally, they would have destroyed your whole season from start to finish by losing to the Lakers, putting you in the 9-10 playing game, and then subsequently ending your season. They ended your in-season tournament run.
Yep.
It cannot happen.
It cannot happen. It just can't. You know what's crazy, too? The Pelicans have a rare opportunity here to fumble the ultimate bag. They realistically, in the course of 3 games, will have a chance to blow a shot at clinching the 6 seed, clinching the 7 seed.
That's right.
And now they have an opportunity to blow clinching the 8 seed.
It's crazy.
Could you imagine,
Yeah.
as tumultuous as this season has been for Sacramento, if the Kings were locked in, had done all of the grind of 81 games, and then game 82 just completely throw it out the window? I mean, it would be incredible stuff. I hope the Kings can play a part in it. And, it is, I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but you do have OKC waiting on the other side of that game. And
hold on.
That's a matchup that we've talked about before in the past.
Deep down, who do you think is more confident for Friday? The Kings coming off a huge win, or the Pelicans, who have, I mean, both teams have been limping, but the Pelicans more recently limping. They're coming off 2 losses in a row, losing Zion, but you do get Brandon Ingram back, and you've beaten the Kings 5 times with different combinations. Who in the world is more confident?
I think the Kings are crazy enough, and I don't think it's purple glasses. I'm pretty sure the Kings getting that win makes you believe that you can do anything. I as crazy as that sounds, winning a 9-10 game gives you confidence that you can conquer the world. But truly, if you can slay that dragon that was the Golden State Warriors, and that, again, Davion Mitchell has talked about it before, you just can't lose to a team 6. At some point, things are going to swing in your favor. The Pelicans, like I just listed out, they've been blowing opportunities left and right. I'm sure it's a welcome sight to see the Kings that they feel like they have some ownage on, but at the same time, they got to be feeling the same thing of, we're sliding right now, and at some point, this team is going to be due for at the very least, Alan, a good performance, right? A close game, because these Pelican Kings games have just been complete blowouts. And so at the very least, I'm sure the Pelicans have a little bit of fear. And then Zion's out too. You throw that onto it. Brandon Ingram's on a minutes restriction. I kind of think the Kings are the team that clearly has more confidence. And this might be a situation where, I know we were afraid of it in the Golden State game, but Kings get up big and start to, this is what I said all last year in the playoffs, specifically once the Kings were up 2-0, get up big, and that you just want to sow in the seeds of doubt. And once those things start getting watered in that second quarter, third, they give up, and you got to put it on them early and make them start to doubt themselves, and they'll start to feel like, oh my gosh, this season is collapsing right in front of our faces. We don't have Zion to come save us. BI's on a minutes restriction. We need CJ to go 15 of 17 from three if we're going to win this one.
And that's what you can't let happen if you are the Kings. Yeah. We'll break it down more. We got Thursday to break it down. Yeah. We got Friday to break it down. We got this for you. We have another Kings roundtable.
That's right.
We're going 2 in 1 week. That's what happens when the Kings take care of business.
That's
that will be later in the week as well. And you're right, Chris. You got to think that at some point the Kings are going to figure this out. By the way, we talked a lot about how the arena was going to look last night in terms of Warrior fans to Kings fans. I know it's a long trip, but we have numbers on the cheapest ticket at the Smoothie King Center. This is why this is probably one of the best arenas to have to travel to. I know it's cross country, but it's just not hitting like Boston.
Game's on Friday. You can spend a nice weekend in NOLA.
Go get some beads, some beignets. Maybe you kick it with Zion, get some jambalaya.
Hey, man.
We'll tell you the tickets, and I'll tell you this much. It's more expensive to buy 2 sandwiches with chips and a soda than to go to this play-in game. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Keegan Murray plays here.
Keegan scores another 3-pointer. Keegan Murray knocking it down for 23 points. Snatch De'Aaron Fox for game scoring honors.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for American Energy Heating and Air with a question. Have you recently had a technician diagnose your HVAC system? You were a bit surprised at how much it cost? Or did something seem off about their quote? Because at American Energy, they take pride in giving you honest, straightforward solutions to get that system up and running. Have their qualified technicians come out and give you a free second opinion. It's free. You got nothing to lose but some dollars off of that original quote. They're making the uncomfortable comfortable. They've been doing it since 1981, serving the greater Sacramento area. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. That's why they keep having customers coming back for more and more and more. You can call them and set that appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
It's time to trade in and trade up at Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Whether you're shopping new or pre-owned, Stockton Honda has the selection and savings. Plus, get top dollar for your trade. Come in today or go to StocktonHonda.com. It's all a click away.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
#1 claims based on 2023 total new and Honda certified pre-owned vehicle car sales from American Honda Motor Company sold on report.
Contact Tax Relief Helpers for details and restrictions. Attention anyone that owes money to the IRS. The IRS has restarted aggressive enforcement actions against taxpayers who owe back taxes that were temporarily suspended for COVID. If you owe $10,000 or more, you must hear this because now is the time to clear your IRS tax debt. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens, levies, and other hostile measures by the IRS. Call Tax Relief Helpers right now at 800-934-9217. Tax Relief Helpers will provide you with the maximum protection afforded by law.
I got behind on my taxes and owed $48,000. I didn't know what to do. I called and they got my bill lowered to just $3,500.
I owed $87,000 in taxes and it was scary. I got the amount I owed down to just $3,500. I saved $83,500.
If you owe money to the IRS, don't wait another day. Call 800-934-9217 right now before the IRS enforces liens, levies, and other aggressive measures. The call and consult are absolutely free. Call now. Call 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217.
Skeeter here, Field Tech, Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District. Hey, it's my favorite week of the year, Mosquito Awareness Week. Yep, the spring and warm weather means the little suckers are starting to breed and bite. Gotcha. So it's time to fight the bite. Once a week, drain standing water from flower pots, bird baths, dog dishes, and at dawn and dusk, start using insect repellent outside and wear long clothes, because these skeeters are out for blood.
The Sacramento Yolo Mosquito and Vector Control District reminds you it's time to fight the bite. For more information, go to fightthebite.net.
You've been waiting all winter for the snow to melt and the golf course to awaken. It's time for your long-awaited spring golf getaway to Plumas Pines Golf Resort in beautiful Gray Eagle, California. The golf course opens April 19th, so the timing is perfect to take advantage of Plumas Pines Spring Special. You can walk the course for $75 or ride for $90, available 7 days a week through May 23rd. Beneath towering pines adjacent to the Feather River, Plumas Pines Golf Resort offers a spectacular round of mountain golf. You'll love the grandeur of the Sierra, the calmness of Gray Eagle, and the wonderful test of golf at Plumas Pines with spring special rates of $75 to walk and $90 to ride 7 days a week until May 23rd. Make your reservation at plumaspinesgolf.com. Whether you visit for the day or stay a few days, Plumas Pines Golf Resort will make your play memorable. Visit plumaspinesgolf.com and make your tee time reservations for the spring special rates available 7 days a week. That's plumaspinesgolf.com.
Here's Barnes finding Keon Ellis wide open, left corner. He scores the three from right in front of the Sacramento Kings bench. 10 points for Keon Ellis. 2-possession advantage, Sacramento 61-57.
All right. I'm looking this up now, Chris, as we speak. Let's see here.
What were the tickets yesterday? I think we said they were
$2 something.
They were the cheapest. Well, the Kings tickets were expensive. They were $250. It said, but I think the Pelicans Laker one was definitely the cheapest one. I think it was like $20 just to get in.
I'm looking here. All right. Yeah, I mean the flights are going to hit you probably $4.
Those are going to be the most expensive.
I'm seeing $4 here for you out there that just want to live on a whim.
Exactly. Have a weekend.
2 p.m. flight. You can be out. All right. That's going to hit you $416. That's on American. Okay. But once you get there, section 305, row 14.
Okay.
$14.
What?
$14.
What section do you say?
Section 305.
Okay, at least that sounds like it's in the bleeders.
Here you go. The 100s. This is actually
what's
insane.
the cheapest lower level ticket?
Section 107.
Okay.
$58.
Okay, that's ridiculous. That's crazy.
In the middle, section 112. $58.
Lower level seat.
This is insane.
What is the order of New Orleans sports? It's got to be Saints one. It's
they don't even
have
a baseball team.
They don't have a baseball. It's probably LSU football too.
Yeah, honestly.
Do they care about LSU more than they care about the Saints?
Probably.
It probably. So LSU 1, Saints 2. I'm sure there's got to be something else. I really don't think they care about the Pelicans even a little bit. I don't think there's any civic pride there for the Pelicans. I mean, they've had bad crowds since AD has been there, and I'm sure they have some.
No, this is no Chris.
Fans,
come on now,
yeah.
Chris.
What up?
Come on now, Chris.
What's up?
You can get on the floor for $608.
Like feet touching the floor.
Feet touching the floor.
Okay, that's insane. We better see Lil Wayne out there or something. They better have some celebs out there. I'm looking at it too. The attendance of Smoothie King Center, 27th out of 30th in the NBA.
That's awful.
And that's again a team that at the end of the regular season was a 7 seed. It was a 6 seed for a lot of it.
That is awful.
It's not good. It's definitely not good. And it makes sense. Like I think that, again, like that's kind of football country down there for sure. And also the Pelicans are a newer team. Like I know they had the weird Hornets situation where the Hornets used to be in New Orleans and then they moved and then Pelicans came in. And so they never really fully established a fan base. But at the same time, I mean, you think about the stars that have came, like, again, they've had Anthony Davis and Zion Williamson. Those are 2 of like the Kings have never had, those are 2 number 1 draft picks. First off, the Kings have only had 1 number 1 draft pick in their history, and it definitely did not end up being Anthony Davis or Zion Williamson.
Can I be honest with you?
Please.
Even look, grandma would probably be able to help us out. I would think about it if the Kings weren't 0-5 against the Pelicans. That is the only thing. To go across country and possibly it's still NOLA. And if you go expecting them to probably lose because they have lost, and then you might get surprised and you have a trip out of it. I'm torn. I might need to make some calls after.
You can talk to Brendan. Brendan is on a mission to go.
Brendan's going?
No, he's on a mission to go. I don't know if he's going to end up going, but Brendan is going to do everything he can to go.
There you go. Well, you see the numbers, folks, if you want to head out there. But we're not done with the Warriors and dancing on graves as far as the dynasty is concerned. And, Klay Thompson, there's been talk about the Mavericks, the Magic, and other teams like that. It was crazy, Chris. I mean, to see what he did, or what I should say didn't do, is there any part of you, you know what's coming?
I don't think so.
Any part of you at all in your purple-blooded being that felt just a little bad?
Not last night, but if I were watching on TV and that was not against the Kings, I would have felt bad because Klay's always been Klay's been the exception to the rule. It's always like, my feelings are very well documented on Wardell, Steph, and Curry.
Extremely.
Draymond Green, not the most chill human being. Kevin Durant's decision to join that team, I think we all feel the same way about it. Klay was always just the dude who was there for vibes. You had, scaffolding Klay. You had Klay and Rocco China in the boat. China Klay. Klay at the parade Klay. Nobody will ever top parade Klay. Like, Klay is his own separate thing when it came to feelings about the Warriors. I say all that to say, like, I would have hated to see him be the one that gets the finger pointed at him for the dynasty coming to an end, because there's been Game 6 Klay. There's been so many times when Klay Thompson has bailed them out. There's been so many times when Klay did not get the proper respect that he deserved for everything he did for that team. The fact that in those Cleveland finals, if you watch back, he's guarding Kyrie freaking Irving for the entirety of the game. Like, if they don't have a guy like Klay, they don't have the ability to win the championships in the same way that they did. Klay's ability to play defense was the thing that unlocked everything for that Warriors dynasty. And so, that's a long way of saying no. I didn't feel bad for Klay yesterday because the Kings needed it. And, Klay has definitely given it to the Kings in the past. And like I said, he definitely owed us one. So, ultimately it sucks that it had to be Klay, but it had to be somebody. And if it wasn't Klay, it was probably going to be Wiggins, or it was going to be somebody else. So I think it's unfortunate because he did have a lot of, that's the toughest part about it, is he was by himself. And that's when HB got to that point in those NBA finals when he was on the Warriors, where we talked about it with Kevin Huerter this year. You can hear the thoughts in his head as he's about to shoot, saying, please go in, please go in. If this doesn't go in, just the game is over. And he just got down on himself, and the shots just kept not falling. He kept getting open looks, and it just never fell down. So no, I don't feel bad for him, but at the same time, I would have felt bad for him if it wasn't against Sacramento.
Let's hear from Shams, who's just breaking down the Warriors' future and what might happen in the coming months.
There's a lot. Steph and Curry, Draymond Green, we know they're going to be back. They're going to be a part of the core. Draymond Green's still under contract for 3 more years after this season. I mean, unless there's a massive change. They're still building around those 2 guys. Steve Kerr's obviously extended, locked in. Klay Thompson, if he's going to come back, he's part of that core too. Really? But beyond that, it's the young guys, right? It's Jonathan Kuminga, it's Brandon Podziemski, and Trace Jackson Davis. And I think everyone else on the roster, is going to be up in the air. You think about Chris Paul. He's got a non-guaranteed contract for about $30 million next season. Could he be used in a potential trade? You think about the money that you need to go get a star player out there. You need significant salary. Andrew Wiggins, they explored Andrew Wiggins trades heavy at the trade deadline. I would expect him to be a name to be talked about too. Those 2 guys are really the only options you have to really improve this roster at a high level. But they're going to have to lean into their young guys. And Jonathan Kuminga, we saw the second half that he had 17 points a game, 5 rebounds, 3 assists, great splits from the field. He's a guy that they're going to need to take the next.
The Warriors need to figure out, in my opinion, especially after hearing that, what is their goal? What is their, like, are they trying to win? Are they trying to win another championship? Because if they are, they need to figure out what the time frame is. Because I don't think that this thing next season is not going to be a championship season for the Warriors. There's a chance if they make the right moves, maybe they can be back in contention for one true final run with Steph the year after. But I just feel like they're a while away. And that's why, you know, hearing Shams say they need to lean into their young guys, I don't think if you're trying to win a title, you're going to win one with Kuminga and Moody and Pods and Trace Jackson-Davis with Steph. I think you got to make a decision of either we go young and we lean into Trace Jackson-Davis, Kuminga, Moody, all these guys, and try and find a trade partner for Draymond. Maybe try and find a trade partner for CP3. I don't think that they're going to be at the point yet where they're going to consider trading Steph, but at some point here, you got to have a conversation with Steph and say, would you rather stay on this team and try and do the one team for your entire career and whatever happens, happens, and we're going to try our best to win, but at the same time, it just might not happen? Or do you want to move to a situation that's going to make you happy? You can either go to Charlotte, go live it up with your dad and your brother and whatever.
LaMelo whenever he plays.
Sure, maybe they can trade for LaMelo. Who knows? Steph has got some trade value for sure. They just need to figure out what they are trying to do here, because if right now, these past 2 years, they've continued to try and do, not really as much this year, but the 2 timeline thing of having young players mixed in with veterans. I just don't think you can win like that. And they just need to pick, do you want to play your veterans or do you want to lean into the youth movement?
When we return, no matter what happens on Friday, does this change how you view the season? Opening back up the phone lines, 916-339-1140. Text line, as well as the Sack Chat, Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
It took 4 quarters of locked-in effort, intensity, and focus to knock out the Golden State Warriors.
Connor Shakes trying to create a step back, and he scores it. Boy, you talk about earning a bucket. Steve Kerr will take time out.
Now the Kings head to Louisiana to see if they can take another win-or-go-home game. Kings and Pelicans, Friday at 6:30, right here on your home for the Sacramento Kings. Sactown Sports.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khdk.com. Have you made a mistake in your past that you want removed from your record? At the Gonzalez Law Office, we know that good people make mistakes. Restore your rights. Clear your record. Call us at 916-304-9187. That's 916-304-9187 or at saclegaldefense.com. Do you have a pending criminal case or injured in an accident? At the Gonzalez Law Office, we handle all criminal and injury cases. We don't settle for less, and neither should you. Call the Gonzalez Law Office at 916 888-304-9187 or visit us at saclegaldefense.com.
Jiffy Lube has a special promotion going on right now. Simply purchase a Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic oil change at Jiffy Lube and receive a $25 e-gift card from popular brands for food, gas, and more. It's that easy. Simply purchase a Pennzoil Platinum full synthetic oil change and receive a $25 e-gift card. So basically, going to Jiffy Lube can get you a free lunch or a pizza for dinner. That's what we call added value for the consumer. That's why Jiffy Lube is #1 in the greater Sacramento area for oil changes. Visit jiffylube.com for more details and valuable coupons today.
Welcome to the Tap House Restaurant at Bartley Kavanaugh Golf Course. With an array of local craft brews from a selection of 20 taps, the Tap House menu boasts freshly made sandwiches, crisp salads, and a variety of specialty entrees. The Tap House is the perfect place for a round after your round at Bartley Kavanaugh Golf Course, especially during happy hour from 3 to 6 daily. Drop by the Tap House Restaurant for scenic views, exquisite food, and a hearty welcome. The Tap House at Bartley Kavanaugh Golf Course.
Hey there, wanted to take a moment of your time so I could talk to you about insecurity. I could talk to you about confidence. I could talk to you about girth. Yeah, what? Girth? Yeah, okay. Let me tell you about the Upsize Clinic at upsizematters.com. My good friend, Dr. Jack, and his friend, Dr. Pash in San Francisco, have a safe, effective, long-lasting doctor-performed procedure. It's non-surgical, virtually pain-free. Now listen, girth is consistently ranked as the most important attribute. What Dr. Jack and Dr. Pash are offering is a free consultation. The procedure can be done on the same day as your consultation and get that confidence back. Reset in the bedroom with your partner. Financing is available. It's very private. It's very discreet. Available in Roseville with Dr. Jack and San Francisco with Dr. Pash at upsizematters.com. That's upsizematters.com.
So here's a fact. 85% of the population will suffer from foot pain in their lifetime. That's almost everyone. So you'd think there'd be plenty of healthy long-term remedies, but there just aren't, right? Hi, I'm Dan from the Good Feet store. You know, people come in all the time sharing the same frustrating story. Bought this, tried that, been there, done whatever, all different kinds of things, but all with a similar result. Nothing. A discouraging and endless cycle of disappointment. If this rings a bell, don't despair. There is hope. If you think you've tried everything, you probably haven't tried Good Feet arch supports from the Good Feet store. They're designed to relieve, even eliminate, the pain commonly caused by certain foot conditions like plantar fasciitis, bunions, flat feet, and others. Plus, provide better balance and increased comfort. See what we can do for you with a free arch support fitting. Just stop in or schedule an appointment. With over 200 stores, there's likely one in your neck of the woods. Find yours at goodfeet.com.
Everybody needs Good Feet.
Maida Chevy saves you $10,000 off MSRP on every new 2024 half-ton Silverado, LT, RST, and LTZ in stock after rebate. Over 50 to choose from.
Exclusive all in-stock pricing at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See deal for details. M43024.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. KHTKAM Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento. Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sactown Sports.
Keon gets it back, drives, double clutch, too strong, no good. Fox had it, lost it. It comes back out. Hustle play by Keon Ellis to get the 50-50 ball. Skips it cross court. Keegan ready for three. He's got the triple. It's 64-57.
From the 916, did you guys know that Keegan Murray and that crowd chant was added to
2K?
The NBA 2K. I was shocked and proud when I heard that for the first time. For you gamers out there, not myself, but the gamers out there. That's pretty cool.
It is, yeah. If anybody, I don't know many people who play 2K anymore, not because, like, you know, gaming's lame. I love gaming. It's just 2K, the game, actually isn't really a basketball game anymore.
Because NBA Live is done.
It is absolutely cooked.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, they don't even put them out anymore.
Don't even think about it anymore. No, they are solely EA is on Madden. They are on FIFA, and they are actually coming out with the college football game this summer, which I am incredibly excited for.
Did you ever play the mascot game?
Yes.
Oh,
my God. Absolutely. Those were the absolute. And to this day, those are my favorite highlights is when they actually have mascot games against Pee-wee football.
Yes,
just laying them out.
Laying them out. For those that don't know, NCAA, they would do a version where it was the mascot game where every player
would be
a
Oregon
mascot.
Duck.
Yes,
it would be like the Oregon Ducks against
versus
the
the Ducks. Literally 20 mascots on the field at one time. Chris, got a question for you and all the listeners. But before that, let's get to another Chris who wants to be part of the conversation.
Love that.
What's up, Chris? You're on the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. What you got for us?
Man, I just want to talk about that defensive beast last night that we put on the Warriors. Steph Curry, 5 points in the first half. They don't understand. Mike Brown put us into a defensive team, and no one talks about how good our defense is. Even though we've let people come back on us in the last 5-6 games, our defense is a monster. And with Zion Williamson being out next game, I think we have a strong chance to get this 8 seed.
Yeah, thanks for the call, Chris. Let's have that conversation before my question.
Yeah.
Chris Watkins.
Okay.
Because the Kings defense looked really good. And then it didn't against the Pelicans. And we sat there confused. And to be honest, Coach Mike Brown in the postgame presser was confused, trying to figure out, was the defense not that good or not as good as it has been? Or did the Pelicans just make a ridiculous amount of shots?
Right.
Some of that were the turnovers and the missed shots from the Kings, which led to transition threes. But at the same time, the Pelicans and that confidence that they had, the transition threes from CJ McCollum, I mean, I guess you can live with that. But Alvarado, who had, I believe, 2 transition threes, another 3 from a set spot, that's the type of stuff where you're thinking, I mean, if he shoots at a normal clip, it might be more of a realistic view on this game. So I don't know if they have to change a game plan. You have more opportunity to throw bodies at CJ McCollum and say, hey, this guy's not beating me. And the good thing about Brandon Ingram is, he can cook you, but Brandon Ingram doesn't shoot threes like that. Right. So at least you're living with mini Kevin Durant and his middies. You can live with that more than CJ McCollum shooting 60% or something absurd from 3-point land.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I definitely think that the Pelicans just played a hell of a game. I mean, they made they shot 55% from 3 in that game on 43-point attempts against the Kings. And I just don't know how realistic that is.
What was CJ?
CJ specifically was 9 of 12. That is burned into my brain.
What percentage is that?
It is 75%.
That's crazy.
75%.
What was Alvarado?
Alvarado was he was 4 of 6.
That 4?
Yes.
See, that's not real life.
They combined of 13 of 18 from 3. And if you want to throw Trey Murphy in there, he was 6 of 12. So that's a ridiculous amount of threes. They had 3 guys pretty much combined for 23s.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to 19 of their 22 threes were made by 3 guys. I don't know how realistic that is.
It's not.
And especially again, the thing that Zion is so good about, with the reason why this team is built so perfectly around Zion, is Zion drives, he collapses the defense, that gets open shooters. So if Zion's not going to play, they need that guy to still drive and suck in all the shooters to get guys like CJ, to get Herb Jones, to get all their shooters open. And I don't know if they'll be able to do it as easily. And I'm looking at the 3-point in these games that the Pelicans have played the Kings this year. 42.9% in the first matchup. In the second matchup, 2 days later, they shot 23%, 7 of 30. Besides that, 45% the next game, 54% the next game, 55% from 3 in their last game. So they have allowed the Pelicans to shoot over 42%, pretty much 43% or over in 4 of the 5 games that they have played this year. I don't know if that's realistic. I don't know if that's a sign that maybe the Pelicans are just really good at finding open looks against this team, but I just can't believe that that's going to continue. I mean, at some point, and I know the Kings even lost that game where the Pelicans shot 23%, but you got to believe that if that happens again, the Kings have and that was the closest game. That was a 5-point loss, only a 5-point loss that time to the Pelicans. You have to believe that if they get more close to that number, that's super doable for this Kings team.
Yeah, it just can't happen again.
It can't.
Not like that. If they last second shot, something like that,
we can live with it. But
it
just
is
make
what
it
it
competitive,
is.
man. It's just about making it competitive at this point, and you gotta keep up the physicality. I don't know if the Pelicans are a physical team at all. That could be something that the Kings. I don't think the Kings
Play
are
good
super
defense,
physical with
though.
them. They do play really good defense, and it's the length and all that. They have Jonas Valanciunas, who's a big, strong body. But I don't think CJ McCollum does he's a skinny dude. Like I know he's got that infamous picture of him at Lehigh looking like a little child.
Yeah.
But he's not a very strong guy. If the Kings can be physical with him the same way they were physical with Steph, I definitely think that lends itself to a good game plan. Brandon Ingram's the one where you might just have to hope he Klay Thompson's it and not necessarily go 0 of 10, but you got to hope that Brandon Ingram doesn't just feel himself, because that's the one guy I don't know if the Kings can even make life difficult for him. It feels like you put Harrison on him. He's just not long enough to get up that BI shot, and Keegan doesn't really bother him either.
But I think that's a situation that we've seen before where it's fine. Brandon Ingram, 35 points, but the other guys just can't get going.
Yep.
If that's going to be your play, it's when I would not blitz Brandon Ingram at all. I would just chalk it up as a loss, because if you blitz and then you let Herb Jones shoot and you let other guys shoot and feel comfortable. Dyson Daniels, I mean, these are role players that are probably going to shoot better at home, at least in theory. So I would just chalk it up as an L with Brandon Ingram. Hope maybe he's off and at least he only shoots 2-pointers for the most part. I would not bring the house and blitz Brandon Ingram. That's just my thought process. Chris, a question I wanted to ask you and everyone out there listening, who's got more value right now as of April 17th at 12:09? Keegan Murray or Jonathan Kuminga? Keegan Murray is 23. Kuminga is 21.
That's an interesting wrinkle. I would still probably say Keegan, but you're going to get some. I mean, it might depend on the team that you're trading with. I think it might not be as far off as what people might think. I think Kuminga has a good amount of value.
I think so too.
I think a team can definitely convince themselves that, like, hey, you give this, like, if you make him your central figure or one of your 3 most utilized guys, like, there might be something there. 2 years, there's a 2-year difference. Do you think Kuminga can make up a gap in 2 years to get to the point where effectively Keegan is now? I don't think that's a bad bet.
Yeah, they are similar players, but also very different players. I mean, they're both around the same height.
Yeah.
You have Kuminga, who's just a ridiculous athlete. Yeah. Keegan is more athletic than you probably think, but Kuminga is definitely more dynamic than Keegan. Keegan is more polished.
Yeah.
And Keegan's a better shooter. Both of them score in different ways, and both of them defend pretty darn well also. So I think it's a really, really interesting thought when you talk about, I don't know that you would ever view Keegan as a number one. I think some people see Kuminga's jumping ability and say he could be a number one, but I have no clue how he gets there.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a bigger bet. Like, Keegan is the thing that you do know. Like, I don't know how much, not necessarily in a bad way. Like, Keegan can definitely round out his edges, but I don't know how much further Keegan's ceiling is. Kuminga feels like he could stay about as good as he is now. He can continue to improve at the rate that he's been here these past couple of years. And I don't think with his athletic ability, if his shot starts to fall, like, there's a chance that he could be a really unique player. Like, I don't know if there's a guy out, like, this is kind of crazy to throw out there, but I emphasize the discount or the dollar store Giannis. Is that okay? Like, can I say a dollar store Giannis?
Yeah, a lot of people in the Bay said he was a bit of a baby Giannis.
Yeah,
that has been said before.
I think that's the thought of if it pans out well, and I think the right team would be willing to bet on that. I think Keegan is much better for teams that are trying to win now, that are looking for a role player that you don't have to worry. You set and forget. That's absolutely Keegan. Kuminga's going to have a lot of inconsistency. You're going to have to work with him a ton to get him to that level, but I think a lot of teams would probably tell themselves, like, I think I would bet on Kuminga's future just as much as I would bet on Keegan's. And, definitely Keegan's a safer bet, but Kuminga's more of that home run swing.
Similar to what we talked about when Draymond said at a random camp, hey, there's about 2 guys on a team that can do whatever they want and are the kind of do-it-all guys, and everybody else has a role.
Yep.
Keegan Murray is probably always going to have a role and be elite. That's why I've compared him to Klay Thompson, that he's gonna defend at a high level. He's probably maybe slightly more athletic than Klay, even pre-injury. He can shoot the basketball. We know what Keegan can do. He kind of has his role. It's just how good is he going to be at that role. Kuminga could be I don't need a role guy, but at the same time, how good of I don't need a role guy is he? Right? You're just going to let him run around, and we don't know what polishing he actually needs. He needs to shoot the 3 better, but besides that, he's kind of a tweener in a way because he's not as big as Giannis. So I think
that's a big part of it.
I think a lot of people would convince themselves to go with Kuminga. It just depends on what you're actually looking for. We have an update on Malik Monk and the 6th man status. Also an update on Malik Monk. We see some people in the Sac chat talking about his injury and what this does with the fact that they're playing again. We will give you those updates, and we will hear from TC when we return. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The New Orleans Pelicans have absolutely owned the Sacramento Kings this season. Sacramento seeking its first win against New Orleans and needs it or their season comes to an end. A loss and it's over. A win and they are the 8th seed and headed to OKC.
The rebound grabbed by Sabonis, hammers it back off the bounce. Another offensive rebound and another 2 points. The Kings have their biggest lead of the ball game.
Get all the exciting play-by-play action starting at 6:30 Friday night on Sactown Sports.
Want to keep your gas-powered engines running like new? Stable's proprietary formulas are proven by third-party testing to outperform the competition in keeping fuel fresh, preventing corrosion, and cleaning the entire fuel system. With Stable, you can have confidence you are doing the right thing for your engine's long-term health. Just pour into your gas can or fuel tank, then top off with fresh fuel. At every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable. Available where fuel additives are sold.
At Progressive, we know how much you love your recreational vehicles, so we decided to record this commercial in an RV.
With a family on vacation.
Mom, who are these people? Oh, that's Flo and Jamie. They're recording a commercial, sweetie. Don't they do that in the studio?
Oh, normally.
No.
But we wanted to feature a family who bundled their home and RV and saved with Progressive.
Yeah, it looks like you're all out of chips.
Okay, I think we'll just drop you off at the next gas station.
Bundle your home and other vehicles with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
It's a pivot, one dribble, and hands to Fox. Hesitates, probes, now skips across court. Harrison Barnes wide open, buries the triple. Boy, the spacing was just outstanding there. The Kings have made their 11th three-pointer in 25 attempts. Sacramento, after the lead had been cut to 1, has now scored 9 straight points.
Saw this from NBA Central. And NBA Award Tracker aims, this is NBAAwardTracker.com. NBA Award Tracker aims to increase transparency and visibility into the NBA award races. All of the rankings are aggregates of the league's top metrics and predictions to provide fans a more accurate look at who is leading each award race. 6th man of the year, Norman Powell at number 3, Malik Monk at number 2,
Okay.
and Naz Reid at number 1.
I mean, I definitely don't love that. I did see a list of somebody yesterday who had like Bogdanovich 1.
That's what Whitey and Drapes were talking about.
Yeah, I think it was Bogey 1, Naz Reid 2, and then I think it was John Hollinger actually, and he had Jonathan Isaac as number 3. Insane. I mean, those guys are deserving of, a nice little hat tip, but Malik Monk has been the exact example of what a six-man represents. And that's the thing that's been so frustrating. Like, yes, Naz Reid did do really well off the bench this year, but he didn't, when he was coming off the bench, his numbers weren't as good as Malik Monk. His impact isn't as strong as Malik Monk. I don't understand with this entire conversation, if we're doing MVP, the number like 2 or 3 thing that people bring up after record and, maybe after stats is how well did his team do when he was out? Because when Malik Monk was out, the Kings have been terrible. They played their worst basketball of the season with the exception of last night. Something tells me if in Minnesota, if Naz Reid went down and not Karl Anthony Towns, something tells me they would have been just fine. Now, I'm sure they wouldn't have been at 100% who they were, but the Timberwolves still finished as the 3 seed. I know they were in the 1 seed for a good portion of that, but I just don't believe that Naz Reid had the impact. And I'm not saying he wasn't good or wasn't great or isn't deserving of a top 2 or 3 spot, but Malik has just been what a 6-man represents for this Kings team. He comes in, he provides that scoring punch. He's a de facto starter pretty much. He closes games. Not only does he score, he also sets guys up, leads the bench, the entire NBA in bench assists. I don't know what else you want. He's big in clutch moments. He's fun. He's exciting. He's a lot more like your traditional Lou Wills, your Jamal Crawfords, those kind of 6 men.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it makes too much sense, and people are trying to convince themselves of anybody else but Malik, and I have no idea why.
Unless it's injury, it doesn't make sense, and I still don't necessarily – I hate using the word fair, but I still don't think that's totally fair to take it from Malik when he was so far ahead. I don't think it was early enough in the season for that to be the case. And at the same time, with Karl Anthony Towns out, Naz Reid's numbers, and I don't know if these people are breaking down these numbers based on when he was only the 6th man,
That's right.
But a lot of his numbers have been ballooned from him starting.
Yes.
Malik never started a game. He never started a game. So unless they're saying, oh yeah, we are only looking at Naz Reid's number as a 6th man, I don't think they do. I don't necessarily trust any of it, and it's unfortunate if it does not happen.
Naz Reid this season, coming off the bench, is averaging 12 points per game. He's shooting 48%, 41% from 3, 5 rebounds, just under 5 rebounds, not a block and not, under a block and under a steal per game this season. Malik, and that's coming off the bench. That's not his overall stats. That is when he comes off the bench as the 6th man. Malik Monk, by comparison, is almost 3 points per game better at 15.4. He averages more assists than Naz does rebounds, shoots 44% and 35 from 3, which aren't as good efficiency numbers. But again, Malik has just more of an impact. He has the same amount of double-doubles as Naz Reid does as well. I just don't see how you could say that Malik, when he has better numbers, his record coming off the bench is also 40. Let's see here. He is 42 and 30 in games when Malik comes off the bench. Naz Reid is 46 and 20. So I don't think that there's a big enough gap to say that, Naz starting should give him the nod. I understand if you want to say, oh, he's the best player that also comes off the bench, but to me, that's not what the award is.
It's not. So we are continuing to monitor that situation and hoping the best for Malik Monk. Also saw in the Sac chat a little bit earlier, people asking the question, hey, Malik Monk, does this change things if they can get past the Pelicans? All Chris and I know, is that during the shoot around before yesterday's game, Malik Monk spoke and said he hasn't even run yet. So he's got to do that first.
Yep.
Before we even
got to do a lot of things,
entertain that conversation. You just got to focus on Friday.
Yep.
Hey, you're missing Malik. They're missing Zion. Roll the ball out and get it done. 916. Don't be lackadaisical. 916-339-1140. Let's get to TC. Who wants to be part of the conversation. What's up, TC? What you got for us?
Oh, yes, sir. Vibing before we get started, man. How y'all feeling? Chris, what's up, bro? How y'all feeling?
Incredible.
Feeling great.
Possibly never better.
Yes.
Hey, I told y'all to show up. Listen, man, Keon's a dog, man. Hey, man, Keegan came out firing. Hey, listen, you know how they said in the Bad Boys, the first Bad Boys movie? That's my favorite one. When what was that? When Will Smith told Martin when they were driving in the Porsche at the end, going to catch Boucher, and he was like, "From now on, that's how you drive."
Right.
That's how I felt about Keegan. Keegan, from now on, I felt that about Domas.
That's right.
Domas, from now on, that's how you dominate, bro. You go out and dominate like that, big dog. I'm serious. I'm fired up right now, bro. We finna beat the Pels on Friday, bro, and go in the first round. I'm trying to tell y'all, bro, Kings fans, I try to tell y'all this year was going to be much more special than last year, bro, because everything we going through, bro, the play-in, to get into the playoffs, to knock the Thunder out, bro, it's going to be special, y'all. Y'all better get ready.
There you go. TC.
Seen the script.
Always with the fire. Look, if they get past the Pelicans, I don't know if people are going to know what to do with themselves. if you get to come back to Golden One, and look, here's the thing. Let's keep it 1,000. This is no disrespect whatsoever. You have New Orleans Smoothie King Center.
Yep.
If you had a list of, and again, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. If you had a list of, and I know they get crazy out there because, hey, I don't know if there's a ton to do, but if you had a list of arenas you wouldn't mind playing in, or I'll do it like this to not be disrespectful. If you had a list of arenas you don't want to play in, where do you think OKC would fall in that list? It wouldn't be top 10 as far as being worried about it.
OKC's got a really good crowd.
I know they do.
They've got the Loud City or whatever
and
they call it.
we could do that off the top of my head. And I don't know what would you do a chase, right, at this point with the Warriors. But you don't want to go to Boston.
Definitely not.
I don't think you want to go to LA.
Garden either.
You don't want to go to Madison Square.
Right.
Where else?
I mean, you
don't want to go to Denver because of the altitude.
Definitely don't want to go to Denver. That should actually be number one. You definitely don't want to go to Denver.
So that's what 4 or 5 right there.
Sacramento.
Well, you don't have to go to Sacramento.
No, but just if we're gonna make a list,
sure. So Sacramento, that's 5.
Definitely on that list for sure.
I would put OKC in that same tier as the Bucks, the Cavs.
If you ask Coach Kerr, Club Phoenix.
Club Phoenix. You don't want to go to Club Phoenix.
You want to be able to hear the next day.
So I think they're worse setups to be a part of, right? There are worse setups to be a part of, but the Kings have to get it done. Continue the conversation. We return. More Kings Suck, more your calls, more your texts, more your Sack Chats. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
It was a beam unlike any beam we've seen.
The Warriors 3, no good. Rebounded by Kessler Edwards, and that will do it. You hear the thunderous light the beam chant in the background.
It was a win to remember.
If the horn sounds and the Sacramento Kings have won.
The season still has more life left in it, and the Kings are off to New Orleans for another win or go home game. It's the Kings and the Pelicans. Friday night at 6:30, right here on your home for Sacramento Kings basketball. Sactown Sports.
Grab the keys to a new Toyota. Get ready to take on the great outdoors in a brand new Toyota truck. Answer the call to adventure with powerful performance and start exploring. Right now, get low 1.99% APR financing on the powerful 2024 Tundra and Tundra Hybrid. Or check out the all-new redesigned 2024 Tacoma. Toyota. Let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit. Excludes DRD Pro. It's 4/30/24.
Skeeter here. Field Tech, Sacramento Yellow Mosquito and Vector Control District. Hey, it's my favorite week of the year. Mosquito Awareness Week. Yep, the spring and warm weather means the little suckers are starting to breed and bite. Gotcha. So it's time to fight the bite. Once a week, drain standing water from flower pots, bird baths, dog dishes, and at dawn and dusk, start using insect repellent outside and wear long clothes, because these skeeters are up for blood.
The Sacramento Yolo Mosquito and Vector Control District reminds you it's time to fight the bite. For more information, go to fightthebite.net.
NBAstore.com, the official online store of the NBA, and the world's largest selection of officially licensed NBA fan gear. With unique designs by Fanatics, Nike, and all the latest styles for every NBA team, plus one-of-a-kind products and authentic collectibles. Shop now and get today's special offer. NBAstore.com, a Fanatics experience.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Tug Shed, new dog treatment centers, and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers.
Taste on a whole new level at Sky River Casino in Elk Grove. Enjoy the height of hospitality, whether you're craving an upscale steakhouse, authentic Chinese hot pot and dim sum, or having a refreshing beverage while watching the game. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Welcome to a brighter future with Aztec Solar, serving Sacramento since 1980. Everyone knows that solar saves money. How much? The answer is a few clicks away. Visit yourpowersavings.com. It's fast, easy, and reliable, giving you instant insight into your potential savings.
I used to pay $400 a month to the power company, and that $400 a month added up to $48,000 over the past 10 years. That all changed when I switched to solar with Aztec Solar.
Now it's your turn to stop overpaying for electricity. Calculate your solar savings right now at yourpowersavings.com. And Aztec Solar will email or text you how much you'll save every month. Plus, we've got an exclusive offer for you. Get your solar electrical system for just $9,995 cash price after incentives. Don't wait. This deal won't last forever. Visit yourpowersavings.com today and take the first step towards energy independence with Aztec Solar.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 916-277-8599 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
This segment is brought to you by Aztec Solar. Skip the sales pitch. Calculate your solar savings at yourpowersavings.com.
On the possession for the Kings, inbounds to Sabonis. He's at the three-point arc. Dribble handoff to Keegan. He drops it back to Domas. Gets into the paint. No look pass to Keon Ellis for three. Add three more to his tally. He pumps his left foot once, twice. Heads back up the floor to shadow Steph Curry. Keon Ellis now with 13 points. And the lead is double digits at 74-62. We're at the midpoint of this quarter.
No matter what happens on Friday, does this change how you view the season? Your initial thoughts, Chris Watkins, Nate Littlefield, myself. I still want to see what happens Friday, but it's probably the best consolation prize you're going to receive.
I'm pretty happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to say there was pessimism going on yesterday. Not everyone was expecting a Kings win.
Here's a better question as we break this thing down. 9-1, and not to say that you can't have both, but it would be really tough, right? If you had to choose 916-339-1140. If you had to choose between beating the Warriors the way you beat them last night in the play-in, or getting the 6th seed, getting to the second round as we wanted to at the beginning of the season, and losing in the second round, right? So you beat whoever, as whatever seed you want to be. You lose in the second round. What would you have preferred? Not to say that
Easily,
you
Wait, no,
easily
that's not
two,
even-
easily two,
Yeah, wait,
not
would
even
you
close.
rather make the second round,
Make it to the
or
second
make
round.
it to the 9-8 play-in.
I'm just going Ricky Bobby here.
You're going like emotional,
No,
like
I'm going,
get
yeah.
back at the Warriors.
But I'm going Ricky Bobby here. If you're not first, you're last.
So it doesn't matter where you finished.
And you got to pack up the Warriors.
The whole thing, this whole season was we have to get to the second round. That's what everyone was talking
but things
about.
change. That's
Yeah.
that's what I'm asking the question.
People said last season expectations are changing. The expectations are fluid, but dude, it's easily get to the second round, no matter who it is.
To me,
even if it's the Lakers.
But I'm just 916-339-1140. I don't know, man. I'm really curious what other people think, because you do not hang banners for getting to the second round.
No, but you feel really positive about the direction you're going. And then if you made the 6th seed, I mean, if you would have upset a 3-6 matchup, I think that feels better over the course of a 2-week period than, yesterday was a great experience, but you could have 3 more of those in a series.
Of course.
And then some making the second round. I just think it's the second round. I think the emotions that go into yesterday absolutely are tough to top, but ultimately, if you win a playoff series, you get all of those emotions, you get more games of data to back that this team is actually moving in a positive direction. And, if you're going to get eliminated on Friday, I don't think, I think it definitely still is better than what the other outcome would have been, of course, them losing to Golden State, but ultimately, you could still argue it's celebrating something that isn't really worth celebrating.
Yeah, no, and that's what, Warrior fans would tell you. I mean, you didn't do anything. You didn't even get into the playoffs if you do lose on Friday. From the Sac Chat, Larry Doney saying, do I want us to keep playing? Yes, but sending the Warriors home to the golf course early is good enough. Brandon Deitzman, I'm pretty flippin' happy, boys. From Nelly 47, doesn't change for me. The expectations were set higher this year at minimum. Getting to the first round was at least the goal. Getting eliminated on Friday is still a failure.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't figured. I think we have to go through Friday for me to say failure ultimately, but I don't know if I would call it a success. It's definitely more successful now that they've beaten the Warriors. You have something you can kind of hang your hat on, but ultimately it still isn't what the goal was. And yes, goals definitely adjust as we get information, and, Malik going down definitely changes expectations. Absolutely. Like, I think making the playoffs at this point would be exceeding what the expectations were once Malik went down. So it's definitely an accomplishment. But if the Kings lose on Friday and you just have this win to go off of, I think it's more positive, definitely, than what it would have been if not. But ultimately, I still think a lot of people are going to view it as a failure. I'm personally, I don't know if this is really even peeling back the curtain, but I will say I'm thrilled that the Kings won yesterday, just from the sheer fact of, I think there would have been a lot of, I don't think depressed might actually be the right word.
Yeah.
Depressed people out there who would have said, this is terrible, blow it all up. These guys are fake. They're illegitimate. Get Brown out of town. Monty McNair, he doesn't know what he's doing.
But
De'Aaron
one win changes that.
One win changed it. I do think that one win, at the very least, it cuts that percentage of people significantly. Like, those people are still going to exist. Don't get it wrong. We're going to get tons of calls this summer from people upset saying you shouldn't be happy with, one elimination game win and still not making the playoffs, which I don't even know if I'm going to argue against that. But I just think that ultimately this is a really positive step. Like, if we're just talking about things that we're taking away from this season, Keon Ellis and Keegan Murray's development, I think beating the Warriors is definitely not something that we should just gloss over. Because if we would have lost that game, Lord knows people would have added to the fuel of their fire. So I think it definitely adds to this season isn't a complete failure. There were some steps along the way that led to some positivity heading into next season, which ultimately was the goal of this season anyway. The goal of this year was to build even more positive momentum into next year. And as crazy as it sounds, I do think the win yesterday built some momentum. Now, all of that momentum can be crashed and burned if the Kings lose by 35 to the Pelicans again. But if they make that a competitive game and ultimately they don't win, I still think that you're going to take it as a win. And I don't know if you're going to be able to call it success or failure. I think it'll be some gray area in between.
From Patrick Donaldson, it wouldn't be a failure this year. The West was so good. Plus, we had injuries this year and improved our defense. 10 games under 500 is the 10th seed in the East. 10 games over 500 is the 10th in the West.
Great point.
The way I see it is this. Whether you lose on Friday or lose in the second round, the offseason doesn't change to me. I don't know that there's anything. Well, there's nothing Kevin Huerter can do because he cannot play. And I don't think there's anything Harrison Barnes can do because that's just what it is. Right. I mean, if we're just going to think it's another revenge tour and he's just going to turn into who he normally is and he's just inconsistent is who he is. So to me, that's the only reason I do ask the question, because would it feel better that you got to watch the Kings for a longer period of time and we got to do more shows with the great energy that we have right now with this postseason energy? For sure. No doubt about it. Creating more memories for a team who's only coming off their second season, tasting the postseason in 16 years, for sure. But if you had to choose between packing up, I don't know, the Spurs or some lowly 10 seed and the Warriors versus losing in the second round and not getting to end the Warriors dynasty, that's the only reason I'm having that conversation, simply because either way, your offseason, you might feel better about the offseason, but your offseason doesn't really change.
I think it might, though, in the sense I think ultimately you're definitely right, but I think there's like small things, like if Davion Mitchell shows out in a playoff series or something, maybe you're a lot less likely to think like, oh, or maybe it solidifies Davion's future here. Mm-hmm. I know Trey just signed a free agency deal. Who knows? Maybe Sasha gets a series where he's able to get some run. I just think that there's a lot more things that can make you feel better if you get these wins along.
Last thing I'll say, and we can continue the conversation on the other side. Sure. Last thing I'll say is that's similar to what happened to the Warriors. And the Warriors, they made the second round. They thought if Wiggins wasn't missing, who knows? And they ran it back, because I'm thinking, okay, what if that first round HB goes crazy?
I don't think they can run it back again.
What if HB goes crazy and now you convince yourself, well, maybe this is who HB is now in his 32nd year or whatever it is, and now,
life.
and exactly, and now you have another season with HB.
Maybe, or maybe it raises HB's trade value if that happens. And maybe you consider it even more. So,
I guess we'll never know. When we return, did Sabonis exercise his demons? Continue the conversation on last night. Also, moving forward to the Pelicans. Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings did it. They eliminated the Warriors and kept their season alive.
They swing it to Keegan, going for another one. He hits it from the line drive on the right wing. That's the 8th three-pointer that Keegan Murray has made in 13 attempts. He has 32 points.
Now, they need to do it again on Friday in New Orleans. Kings and Pelicans, Friday at 6:30 on your home of the Kings, Sactown Sports.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
I'm surprised at how many players wait too long to have their golf clubs regripped. I'll pick up my playing partner's clubs when they're left near the green, and that's when I notice that some of the problems in their games could be attributed to worn golf grips. If yours are shiny or worn when you play, you're probably gripping the club too strongly for fear of losing it during a swing. The golf grip is your connection to the club, and fresh grips let you hold the club lightly, promoting proper swing mechanics and swing action. Many of us simply replace the grips with the same product that was on the club, but with so many different types of materials, colors, tackiness, softness, and more, you'll find plenty of sizes and colors to fit your game and your personality. Your local pro shop or club fitter can regrip your clubs, or you can purchase a kit and do it yourself. Either way, regripping once a year is an inexpensive and fast way to bring a noticeable change to your game and to give your clubs that new club feel. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
Have you made a mistake in your past that you want removed from your record? At the Gonzalez Law Office, we know that good people make mistakes. Restore your rights. Clear your record. Call us at 916-304-9187. That's 916-304-9187 or at SacLegalDefense.com. Do you have a pending criminal case or injured in an accident? At the Gonzalez Law Office, we handle all criminal and injury cases. We don't settle for less, and neither should you. Call the Gonzalez Law Office at 916-304-9187 or visit us at SacLegalDefense.com.
Contact Tax Relief Helpers for details and restrictions. Attention anyone that owes money to the IRS. The IRS has restarted aggressive enforcement actions against taxpayers who owe back taxes that were temporarily suspended for COVID. If you owe $10,000 or more, you must hear this because now is the time to clear your IRS tax debt. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens, levies, and other hostile measures by the IRS. Call Tax Relief Helpers right now at 800-934-9217. Tax Relief Helpers will provide you with the maximum protection afforded by law.
I got behind on my taxes and owed $48,000. I didn't know what to do. I called and they got my bill lowered to just $3,500.
I owed $87,000 in taxes and it was scary. I got the amount I owed down to just $3,500. I saved $83,500.
If you owe money to the IRS, don't wait another day. Call 800-934-9217 right now before the IRS enforces liens, levies, and other aggressive measures. The call and consult are absolutely free. Call now. Call 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217.
Seems like all this artificial intelligence stuff stirs up the age-old debate of man versus machine. Hi, it's Dan from the Good Feet store, and let me ask you, would you let a robot cut your hair? Would you rely on an app to teach a kid to ride a two-wheeler? Let's face it, some things require the human touch. People come to us seeking a solution to foot, leg, and back pain after trying all kinds of things recommended by in-store machines or website blurbs. An impersonal, generic approach to solving a problem that's unique to you. No wonder they usually don't work. At the Good Feet store, you'll meet with an arch support specialist who will take the time to learn about your needs, your feet, your lifestyle, and then fit you from over 300 models and sizes of arch supports, designed for pain relief, better balance, and more comfort. See what we can do for you with a free fitting. Just stop in or schedule an appointment. With over 200 stores, there's likely one near you. Find yours at goodfeet.com.
Everybody needs good feet.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
Shoes, Chris and
Nate chose to lose in the second round from the 5-3-0. They also agree it's not even close. It's not even close. It's great and a quick excitement to send the Warriors packing, but the potential for 16 extra games with 2 play-ins and 2 7-game series is amazing. It's like an 18% longer season with option 2. Also, maybe it's long enough that Malik comes back and 2 series means potentially 2 new rivalries form. Yeah, that's taking it real deep there. 5-3-0. I guess I was saying that they wouldn't be in the play-in if they got to round 2. Not to say that they can't. It was just a kind of a made-up scenario. But I get it. I know there's somebody on the other side, 916-339-1140, because I know it meant a lot. And I think it might be easier to ask this question once it's over, right? Maybe the fact that it still could happen. The fact that it still could happen means, hey, we're not saying we're done just yet as far as the Pelicans are concerned with no Zion Williamson. If you did not hear that news earlier, Zion quickly, Chris, been ruled out quickly.
I kind of figured something bad had happened because they pulled him out with a minute to go in the game yesterday. And I know it wasn't like a win or go home, but they kind of would have liked to have that game, especially with
he had a 40 burger.
He had a 40 burger. Right. He was playing ridiculous. I saw him slam his towel down as he walked right before he walked off to the locker room. So I knew it wasn't good. I mean, that's a situation where, especially with a minute left, if it's not that bad or you're not that concerned, you're going to say play out the minute and we'll do tests after the game. Right. But the fact that they said immediately, no, get him out when we want to take tests, you kind of had a feeling that it was going to be something bad. I thought he was just going to play and not be at 100%. But the fact that, like you said, they quickly ruled him out. We still got 2 days until this game even happens. And they said, no, there's no way he's going to be able to recover.
Was the craziest part.
That's serious.
Yeah, that was the craziest part, how quickly they said that he was done. And I don't know. I mean, the Pelicans, who knows what they're thinking? They're free falling right now. Maybe it's different if it's not the Kings. I know that sounds crazy, but to already say no, hey, again, if there's a team we feel like we can pull this off against without Zion, is that the number 1 team? Obviously the Pelicans, they might be undefeated against some East Coast team, but there is no other team that they've beaten very easily 5 times.
No, there's no way. No. I mean, the Kings are definitely the only team that they've even played 5 times this year. And let me look at these splits real quick. The Pelicans are 3-1 against the Clippers and 3-1 against San Antonio. Besides that, 5-0 is by far their best matchup. So this is exactly what New Orleans wants.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, it has to be. And if you're the Kings, At least you know what hasn't been working. Right. And Coach Mike Brown has made some adjustments. That's what he did last night against the Warriors, and we can't talk about it enough, how he had this team ready, that quiet confidence that was oozing off of him during the pregame presser. And David wants to continue that conversation, 916-339-1140. All guests and callers join us from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. David, what you got for us?
Hey, thanks, guys. Just real quick on Mike Brown. My favorite part was when Keon was moping about his turnover on one end, and Mike Brown was yelling at the top of his lungs for him to get back on defense. He was fired up to get Keon still focused in the game. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah. No. Thanks for the call, David. He's a player's coach, and I know it's another overused sports term, but he is a player's coach to me of the highest order. Whenever you can flip off a coach and he laughs about it mid-game, I don't know if there is another coach that would allow that. The relationship, and it's a relation. They're relationships that I don't even understand. To where I'm thinking, is that cool? Does that kind of makes you uncomfortable? Yeah. But that's how they get down, and he's really coached these guys up for majority of the season. And when there's a difference between guys that are still growing and evolving, and guys that they just kind of are what they are, right? And this isn't to be a slight at anybody, but De'Aaron, still young in the game, he can get coached up. Mike is turning him into a two-way guy.
Yeah.
Keegan Murray, Mike is doing his thing there. And then and you just have guys that maybe are closer to their ceilings, right? You have Keon Ellis, who's nowhere near his ceiling. At least we don't think so. Then you have the Harrison Barneses of the world, who is he's in his 30s now. I don't know how much Harrison knows so much about the game already. Is it really just a matter of he is what he is? Kevin Huerter, we know what Kevin Huerter brings to the table as far as his skill set and tools are concerned. How much more can Mike do there? So when there is an area where somebody can grow, I think that we've seen not just Mike, but from Lindsey Harding and the G League staff, they will help get you there. But there are some guys who they're just closer to their ceiling than others.
No, go ahead, Nate.
I'm sorry. Do you think Kevin Huerter did hit his ceiling last year with Mike Brown? Do you think he I kind of feel like he got the most out of Kevin Huerter as most as he could have.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
even defensively, Kevin was trying his darndest. He gets an E for effort. Yeah. I think so. He had him rebounding, cutting to the basket. Kevin was pulling down 6-7 rebounds. So I would say so. Kevin is only 26. It's just when you look, we just did this conversation with Keegan and Kuminga. When you look at ceilings, Kevin is either going to shoot well or he's not. That's literally his ceiling.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm looking at it. Last year's numbers, 15 points per game, shot 40% from 30, 48% from the field. All of those are career highs. I think that's probably his ceiling. I think it'd be tough, unless somebody goes down with an injury and Kevin gets an increased role. I can't see him playing better than that. But saying that, that's really, really good to have. If Kevin Huerter can just be that, that's a guy that they'll gladly take on the team. So even though you might say Kevin can't get much better than that season, if he's just going to be that guy,
he shouldn't need to.
He shouldn't need to. Exactly. That's exactly what you want from a guy like Kevin Huerter in that role.
And the last person I'll bring up that we haven't brought up yet, and I know it started in LA and people were thinking, Laker fans were thinking, oh, should we have held on to him or not? Malik Monk.
Yeah.
Malik Monk.
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go. There's another one.
Yeah. I mean, this coach, and this is hilarious because this team has a history of very high lottery picks. Ben McLemore, Thomas Robinson, Willie Cauley-Stein. I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on from all of the top 10 picks that this team had. The funniest thing, I guess it's not funny, but they couldn't develop any of them. Right. And there was a very, very minimal strides made, so much so that, when guys would make little tiny strides, it was the biggest thing in the world. Ben McLemore being able to attack the rim or dribble the ball was huge for this team. If he could pass, it would have been great for that team. And now you see, like you said, not just the young guys, but everybody's getting. Malik got better. Kevin Huerter, who is still a young guy, but had been in the league for 4 years, got better when he got here to Sacramento. Trey Lyles has gotten better just in the year and a half, or has it been 2 seasons? I guess it has been 2 seasons since Trey's been here, 2.5 years. Trey Lyles has gotten significantly better. The internal development, you're right, is not something that should be overblown or overlooked because it's just not something that this team has had. It's not a given. Just because you're a good team doesn't mean that your guys are going to get better. Mike Brown and this coaching staff, I mean, it's definitely not just a Mike Brown thing. You pointed out Lindsey Harding. I mean, Bobby Jackson was this team's G League coach in the years previous. All those guys, the player development guys, Luke Laux, even Jordy and Jay Triano, Doug, all of the behind the bench coaches, those guys have done such a great job, and ladies have done such a great job of making these guys better. And even Sabonis, man, Sabonis with his 3, that's something he hasn't been as good at in his NBA career. This season, he shoots a career high from 3. It's just they are getting better and not losing sight of appreciating the fact that this coaching staff has had a huge part in making these guys better.
When we return, can the Kings really pull this off? We'll hear from Shams on Zion's hamstring injury. And if you're starting to feel bad for the Warriors, we have some sound that might change your mind from the Curry family. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
Did you miss any part of our live local shows? Don't worry, you never have to miss them again. Check out SactownSports.com and search our podcast page and play our shows when you want. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles and Watkins, and The Drive Guys. Plus, other podcasts like Return of the Empire, Return of the Roar, The Stingers Up podcast, and Golf to Go with Frank LaRosa.
They're all available right now on SactownSports.com.
I didn't ask to be thrown in the streets with nowhere to go. I didn't think I'd survive. But I did ask for help, and Covenant House was there for me.
1 in 10 young adults will experience a form of homelessness this year. For these kids who didn't ask to be put in this unthinkable situation, Covenant House is there.
Covenant House helped me break the cycle of homelessness in my family. They gave me the love that I needed.
Over 2,000 young people will sleep safely in a Covenant House bed tonight. When youth who are experiencing homelessness have a hot meal, a safe place to sleep, medical care, and love, they can overcome heartbreaking challenges and have a brighter future.
They just really genuinely just wanted to help me succeed, and I'm succeeding. I'm a speaker, I'm an author. Covenant House really helped me and really helped mold me into the woman I am today.
If you or someone you love is asking for help, go to safeplacetosleep.org today.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Hey, UC Davis fans, Aggie football season tickets are available now. Whether you're coming out to see the dynamic, fast-paced offense under new head coach Tim Plow and All-American running back Land Larison, or bringing the kids out to roll down the grass hills and run on the field at halftime's more your speed, UC Davis Football Games has something for everyone. Secure your 6 Saturday games now with a season ticket package by calling the ticket office at 530-752-2471 or go online at ucdavisaggies.com/tickets. Go Ags!
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
At Fasteners Inc., we believe adding quality power tools to your lineup shouldn't break the bank. That's why we're hosting the biggest Milwaukee tool sale of the year in Sacramento. On top of insane deals on Milwaukee power tools, all Milwaukee pack-out storage boxes, hand tools, and tool accessories will be 25% off. So come on down on April 27th to the Milwaukee Tool Sanity Sale at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet on Power Inn Road in Sacramento. For more info, visit fastenersinc.net.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram in Woodland. Chad, what's happening for Ram Truck Month?
We are very excited to be celebrating 75 years in business. And what better way to celebrate than helping you get the hard-to-find heavy-duty Ram you've been looking for less? Right now, you can save up to $8,000 off MSRP on new 2024 Ram 2500 Tradesman Crew Cabs. And with California's biggest selection of new Ram trucks, you're sure to find the truck you need.
75 years. That's incredible, dude.
It all started with my grandpa and great-grandpa's dream, and it's grown over the years to where we've had a chance to serve tens of thousands of customers and show them there's something special about Hoblet you just can't get at those big city auto mall dealerships.
Come experience the difference at California's #1 Ram truck dealer. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
8,000 total net savings after 4,000 factory rebates and 4,000 dealer discounts. Rebates include 1,500 commercial bonus cash and 500 first responder bonus cash. Must be current member of eligible First Responder Association. 5 with this discount. See dealer for details.
Jerry and Kenny here from Bell Brothers. And if you've even thought of replacing your old, outdated, inefficient windows, now is the time to take action.
Right now at Bell Brothers, when you buy one window, you'll get the second one for 30% off. That's right. Buy one, get the second one 30% off.
That's real savings, up to $6,000. You have to buy at least 4 windows to qualify, and you can't mix windows and doors. But beyond that, every second window is 30% off.
For example, when you buy 10 windows, you will get 5 windows at 30% off.
We also have 0% interest financing available for qualified buyers. Call for details. To take advantage of our buy one, get one 30% off sale, call Bell Brothers now at 916-444-1234 or find us online at theNoSurpriseGuys.com.
The No Surprise Guys, Bell Brothers.
This segment is brought to you by Aztec Solar. Skip the sales pitch. Calculate your solar savings at yourpowersavings.com.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sactown Sports.
20 on the possession for the Kings. Inbounds to Sabonis. He's at the three-point arc. Dribble handoff to Keegan. He drops it back to Domas. Gets into the paint. No look pass to Keon Ellis for three. Add three more to his tally. He pumps his left foot once, twice. Heads back up the floor to shadow Steph Curry. Keon Ellis now with 13 points. And the lead is double digits at 74-62. We're at the midpoint of this quarter.
From the 916, sup fellas, just a quick appreciation post. Your transition intro music is always awesome. Right out of my playlist. Cypress Hill, Slam, Tribe, Travis, Scott, Franchise. You're killing it. That one goes out to Nate.
I do it for you guys.
DJ Bedhead. DJ Bedhead.
I had to wear a hat today.
That's right, because of the Bedhead. DJ Bedhead on the ones and twos.
Shout out Soldier Boy.
1:30.
Soldier.
We're going to set this up for you, speaking of music. In a lot of these feel-good movies, right? Remember the Titans, Coach Carter. Music will be played at the end of the movie.
Right.
And it will tell you what went on to happen to that person in the movie, to that character. So-and-so goes on to be this, or so-and-so did this after his time or her time in college or school. We're going to do that. We're trying our best to be funny here. So 1:30, we are going to do that with the Warriors, okay? I've written some. Chris has written some. Nate is writing some as well. So 1:30, we are going to do our best impression of the end of the movie, the end of the era of the Warriors, and we have our breakdowns and some jokes on what the Warriors will do now that their dynasty is over. Speaking of the Warriors, if you were starting to feel bad for the Warriors, so much has come out, and there's so much audio. And Chris, I'm going to be honest with you. I still don't know what this is from. In the bottom logo, I see an NBC. I don't know if it was from Saturday Night Live.
ABC.
ABC.
Yeah.
I have no clue what it was from. But here is Steph Curry with his family.
Oh.
Without context, I don't know. Maybe somebody has a context, roasting the Kings. Here it is.
Why is the Sacramento Kings arena so hot? Because they ain't got no fans.
That's Riley cracking up.
It's just wrong.
Play it again, Nate.
Okay.
Why is the Sacramento Kings arena so hot? Because they ain't got no fans.
That is gold.
That was for the ESPYs, by the way.
That's right. That was for the ESPYs.
Riley's a bad actor.
I thought
none of them are great.
I thought in the context it was funny. I mean, they threw shots at everybody during that. But if you were starting to maybe feel bad for Mr. Wardell, Stephen Curry,
Never once.
They had jokes. Don't forget that they had the jokes for
Someone photoshopped a picture of Keon Ellis's face on Del Curry and a Curry family picture.
Oh yeah, I've had that picture.
That's the one meme that has never gone away, or that version of a meme. There's always going to be someone holding a child with someone else's face after a game.
Last year was Sabonis with Looney.
Oh, I can imagine. Yes, and I believe I saw those.
Yeah, we've seen that before.
We have seen that movie before. All right, let's get to Shams and what he had to say about Zion Williamson's hamstring.
The Pelicans believe that Zion Williamson came up lame on his hamstring. He pulled a hamstring. There are tests coming today to see just how bad exactly what it is, what the severity is. But there's obvious concern anytime you have a hamstring. Last season, Zion Williamson missed quite some time, several months with a hamstring strain on his opposite leg, his right leg. This year, it's the left hamstring that's impacted him. But that was the best game to me, and I think to a lot of people of Zion Williamson's career. You saw how he was attacking, how aggressive he was, and just the stakes of that game. I mean, it was a near playoff game that he had, and the energy that he played with. You could tell he was really working himself to exhaustion in that fourth quarter, playing really hard. Teammates felt it, coaches felt it, and I think they'll know more today just how bad that hamstring injury is.
So that was clearly before he was deemed out for Friday. So not good. And, Zion, he's taken a lot this season. He's had situations off the court. He has had situations on the court. Him and the Pelicans have beefed with Stephen A. about the jokes that he said about his weight. Then it looked like Zion lost a bunch of weight, and now he's injured.
Yep. Yeah, it's been a roller coaster. And unfortunately, I mean, it's been probably the healthiest year of Zion's career so far. And so for it to end, could possibly end in this fashion. I do feel bad for him because, again, Zion is somebody who was supposed to be one of the faces of this league. Like, he was supposed to be part of the torch passing of Steph and LeBron to, guys like Zion and Ant Edwards and Giannis and guys like that. And it just hasn't really panned out for him. He had a fantastic game last night against the Lakers. It's unfortunate that it pretty much went to waste, but he's a big guy. And I definitely think that, I didn't even know until Sham said it there that he had hurt the opposite hamstring last year. They always say how, you compensate with the other leg, trying to kind of counterbalance that. And I can't imagine that this is good for any, of course, with the amount of torque and weight that's on those knees and on those calves as he's got to kind of explode off of it. That's just not great. I mean, even if he does, if whatever, the Pelicans beat the Kings and they have to advance in the playoffs, it just doesn't sound good for Zion's future. And it just sounds like another thing that you can add to the list of reasons why I don't know if he's ever going to live to his potential.
And really it becomes, hey, is he better off? I'm trying to think of not necessarily Anthony Davis, but is he better off being a really, really good number two simply because Zion's the type of guy, it seems like in about 2 to 3 years, he's going to end up on a super team. And similar to Kawhi, who made the last slot for Team USA, by the way, even though he can't seem to play for the Clippers. But he seems like a guy who he'll get a pass as far as being on a super team. And every season we'll say, they're really good if Zion can get going, which we kind of do with the Pelicans, but make that an even better team that feels like who Zion will be. And he'll never, I don't know about never. I don't want to say never, but it's every season that goes by, you start worrying. I mean, you did that clutch. Did they even have Zion in that clutch in that playoff tier breakdown? I mean, I can't see him,
but I don't know where.
I don't know where you would even put him because you don't know.
Yeah.
You have no clue. We have no clue who Zion is when it matters most. Yeah, it was a clutch performance last night, but he got injured. That's not his fault, but now he can't play. And they lost.
No, absolutely. I don't really know where you would put him in that list. I mean, I think you're right. I think that's kind of where Zion's career ends up going, is like he's going to be like a Paul George, where it's like, he's a really great player. Like, he, especially as a number two option, he's an elite number two, but and this next part, not so much fitting into the Paul George category. I just don't know if Zion, for lack of a better term, has that dog in him. Like, I don't know if Zion really, if you want to be the number one player on a championship team, you have to have a certain level of drive to, I mean, we talked with that Phoenix writer the other day who talked about KD not necessarily pushing his team or not feeling like he's pushing that team to have championship aspirations. I don't know if Zion has that. Like, I think he's a good competitor. I think he likes being in the spotlight. I don't know if he's, and as corny or cliche as this, I don't know if he's a leader of men. Like, I don't know if he's going to rally that team around him and say, I'm trying to be the face of the league. I want to be generational. I want to be in those and Edwards is in that Adam Sandler movie. I want that for me. And part of that is team success. I don't know if Zion has that in him. I just haven't seen it. He seems like a super chill guy. Seems a lot more like De'Aaron Fox in the manner of, these are games. This is his job. Of course, he loves it. But I don't know if he necessarily lets these games bother him. And I think the truly, like elite of elite, they always say Kobe, LeBron, Michael, all those guys hate, and I'm not saying De'Aaron and Zion don't hate losing, but they literally cannot stand losing anything. And I just don't know if Zion has that in him.
Yeah, and look, we won't see Zion in a win or go home on Friday. I do know this. There are different ways to lead, and I know you weren't coming down De'Aaron Fox's road, but we get stuck in the Mamba mentality. There's one way to lead. Jordan, Kobe.
Very true.
Bleep you. Right. This is what we're going to do, and there are other ways to lead. And I think, honestly, LeBron James and Steph Curry have shown that. I think LeBron is closer to the MJ and Kobe than Steph, but there are different ways to find success. Yeah. And with Zion, it starts with the ability to stay on the court when it matters most, because they really don't have a Batman out there as far as a leader.
No.
And that I don't know what the Pelicans are going to do, but hopefully they have a lot of time to think about it after Friday night. When we return, Chris Haynes had a report that Chris and I didn't catch because we were at the game, but Chris Haynes had a report that I don't know if everybody saw this, but the Warriors, maybe with a little bit of last-minute bulletin board material, and you got to just stop doing this, Warriors. You got to stop. It's not the first time you've done this, and I think a lot of teams should just stop doing this, but they refuse. Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
It took 4 quarters of locked-in effort, intensity, and focus to knock out the Golden State Warriors.
Darren Shakes trying to create a step back, and he scores it. Boy, you talk about earning a bucket. Steve Kerr will take time out.
Now the Kings head to Louisiana to see if they can take another win or go home game. Kings and Pelicans, Friday at 6:30, right here on your home for the Sacramento Kings. Sactown Sports.
Ooh, ma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs. You sound very calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees. Ooma. Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
The Angie's List you know and trust is now Angie, and we're so much more than just a list. We still connect you with top local pros and show you ratings and reviews, but now we also let you compare upfront prices on hundreds of projects and book a service instantly. We can even handle the rest of your project from start to finish. So remember, Angie's List is now Angie, and we're here to get your job done right. Get started at Angie.com. That's ANGI, or download the app today.
Points.
Did you guys hear what was said on the TNT broadcast last night about Keegan Murray?
No.
Saw this clip this morning. It was Barkley going, hey, they're going to need a guy like Keegan Murray to score 30 tonight. It's going to have to happen. This was the pregame tip-off. Kenny goes, not going to happen. Not happening tonight. Sure enough.
Wow.
Charles.
They're wrong a lot.
A lot.
Yeah.
They're wrong a lot.
It's just dead on,
I think
Charles was dead on.
I think I got a Bleacher Report notification literally after I parked my car yesterday that said TNT crew says Kings have to play game of their life in order to win against Warriors.
We kind of felt like that, though.
No, it's just,
when you say
disagreeing.
It wasn't even that they were
game of your life also implies that it's not something you could repeat. That it's like a miracle.
That's also
like
true.
You need a miracle.
Okay,
in order
that's
to
fair.
Win. Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah.
That's
but
fair.
I mean, I think sometimes you have to exaggerate for.
You needed to play one of the best games that you've played this season.
Yep, and they
That's what
definitely
I'm saying.
did.
And they definitely did.
Yeah, undoubtedly.
There is something, Chris. Alan Diamond brought it up, not me. I would never.
Different Alan.
Different Alan.
Yeah.
I would never bring this up, but he did
Not
say, wow, we didn't beat the Warriors last season when Alan wasn't here.
It's a strong point. That's a really strong point. I mean, we did technically beat them 3 times, but we didn't eliminate.
You did not eliminate them.
We didn't have that final push that we needed.
No,
that's
did
really
not.
the biggest difference when you think about it. I mean,
Right.
we did for most part run it back, and if you try and think about the major differences, like I really can't think of a major difference that's as big as Alan Stiles being here this year and not being present, or even being on the other side last year.
Congrats on the win, man.
Different zip code.
Yeah, different.
I just
zip
do what
code.
I can.
He just does his part.
I'm just here to. I'm
one game at a time.
Hey, I'm just here to do my job.
916 Allen over 405 Allen.
Oh, every day.
It was 510.
Oh,
sorry. I don't know the difference.
There
There's
you
a
go.
few.
I'm
over there.
925, but I was in the 510, and I took it with me. I just that's my gift to you.
Yeah, we appreciate it. No,
Yeah,
we
dude.
needed it.
Thanks,
we needed
man.
it.
Hey, anytime.
Do you know anyone from New Orleans? Because we can
That's
use
also
them.
true.
We can
Well,
use them quick.
Brendan's on his way. I think he's driving to New Orleans as we speak with a box full of beignets.
My friend just sent me the drive because he wants to go too because the tickets are so cheap.
Yeah.
He's like, the flights are insane.
Yeah.
400 one way. He screenshots the drive and it's
Yeah.
a day and a half.
Go check
wait, hold on.
Amtrak.
Is there
Check
an
Amtrak.
How many hours is it? I would guess.
I think it's like 30.
It's literally
or
across
no,
country.
I think it might be like 26, but yeah, it was just funny.
Come on, man.
I mean,
If
you
left
have to
now,
drive through the biggest. Like you have to drive through California and Texas.
You have
in
to
order
leave
get
now.
there.
I mean, you're
Probably,
going through
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, Arizona, New Mexico, and then Texas. Yeah.
Road trip.
It's literally the longest.
Yeah.
Not
Road
literally,
trip.
but-
Well, none of that would have happened if the Kings didn't take care of business last night. And someone in the Warriors organization was pretty confident. They said this to Chris Haynes, knowing that Chris Haynes was going to say it on national television. This is what they had to say.
We won here before. We're ready. And I want to show you guys this, since you can see that it's a white out here. These are the shirts that they've given to all the fans here in attendance. Feel the roar. Feel the roar. And I will end with this. There's a person in the Golden State Warriors organization that told me by the end of the day, the plan is for them to feel the pain instead of feel the war. That's all I have for you, EJ.
Chris is so mad.
Woo!
That's all I have.
That's a knee slapper right there. That is hilarious.
Who do you
stuff
think?
right
Okay,
there.
let's do this.
Oh,
First of
man.
all, do we think it was a
stupid.
player or a coach?
Oh no, that's got tech money written all over
Yeah.
it. That's a
Yeah.
hilarious joke.
Lacob?
Yeah.
Was it from the mouth of the owner?
It would not surprise me. It really would not surprise me.
I think it's like a part owner guy, like I mean, someone who's just related.
Yeah,
to
I
the
feel like
Warrior, who, yeah.
Haynes probably would have said a player if it was a player.
Yeah.
Because that would have been spicier if he said it was a player.
And
Also, like that's pretty. I feel like I just give players a little bit better credit. Like, feel the pain is. That's so whack. That is so whack.
But
Of all
coming
the
from
things.
the whoop that situation in Memphis,
Sure.
the Warriors have done kind of corny stuff like this before.
Feel the pain is
Yeah.
crazy.
It wasn't a player.
And you know the nerd who said that had the biggest smile
Biggest
on his
smirk
face.
on
like,
your face.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're
he's gonna
feel the
say
pain.
it.
He like
Yeah,
looked
you can
over
say
and feel the roar more.
He's got his Apple Vision on. Dork.
Yeah. There's no way. Okay, there's no way to me. It was Mike Dunleavy Jr.
That got me.
I don't think it was Mike Dunleavy Jr. I don't know who all was there.
I did see Mike Dunleavy Jr. in the hallways. Tall dude. That's a tall man right there.
I'll drink of water.
Yeah. I don't think it was him. He was. I mean, he was.
It's got to be Lacob.
I think it's. I mean, Lacob was in the building. Like we.
And he was
the only
sitting
one
there.
He was courtside,
Grinding film.
right in front of the seats.
Both
okay?
grinding
Yeah.
film together.
Right, and we know, Lacob. I don't know how well Vec and Lacob are doing these days with
Yeah.
the whole A's situation going on. I don't know if there's any bad blood there, but Yeah, I would put my money on Mr. Joe Lacob, light years ahead, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's who I think
right
said
up
it.
that alley.
Yeah, we're gonna do some investigative.
Yeah, we'll do some
journalism here.
We'll send some. I'll wear a fake mustache if I have to.
Hey, who here wants to feel the pain?
Yeah.
Right.
Anybody here wants to feel the pain? We have some.
So bad.
We have some more audio. This is how crazy the Twitter Spaces have gotten.
Oh my God. Nuts.
They got so big.
Insane.
Nick Wright, and when you listen to this, he's in his spare time.
This man's
Clearly,
not getting paid.
His kids are asleep.
Bro.
He felt compelled to hop in Twitter Spaces, and the Warrior Space is probably the
Legendary.
most famous one because they just lose their mind. And he's breaking down Draymond and Steve Kerr, just talking with fans about the Warriors.
100, right?
Trace Jackson Davis.
Right.
That was it.
Obviously, yeah. Nick, hold on a second. The way you just said about Trace and like you trying to make it sound like it's a ridiculous thing, you got to understand something. Dario Saric, you know Dario Saric, right? Do you think that Dario Saric is a guy who can play the 5?
No, what I think is, here's what I honest to God think, and I don't think this is a controversial opinion. If the amount of minutes Trace Jackson does or does not get is the difference between your team getting rocked by a Kings team in free fall and winning a championship, then you're kidding yourself.
100, right?
But that's what I'm saying. He's in bed.
Kids are clearly.
He's in his office.
Are they in like a Twitter call, a Discord call?
Yeah, it's a Twitter Space.
All these blue check marks in here at this video. It's very weird.
It's a Twitter Space, and Nick Wright, of all people, known Warriors hater,
yes,
is walking Warrior fans back. That's how down bad they are in the Bay. All right, our fun game. If you have any, you can be a part of it as well. Text line, call line, as we do an update on where the Warriors are in their lives. We'll get the music going, some Twista, Faith Evans, hopeful for today. And where are the Warriors now in a couple years or 10 years here that the dynasty is over due to the Kings running them out of the building? Stiles and Watkins, Sactown Sports.
On the move? Got somewhere to be?
Take Sacramento Kings basketball with you. The Sactown Sports app will let you stay connected to your passion. Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. We're looking at milky skies out there for the afternoon. We'll call it mostly sunny, though. We'll have light winds today with highs reaching the lower 80s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Spring savings continue at Folsom Lake Kia. Low payments, special offers, zero down deals on approval of credit. Shop your trusted Kia dealership for over 25 years and tell them DC sent you. FolsomLakeKia.com.
Have you made a mistake in your past that you want removed from your record? At the Gonzalez Law Office, we know that good people make mistakes. Restore your rights. Clear your record. Call us at 916-304-9187. That's 916-304-9187 or at saclegaldefense.com. Do you have a pending criminal case or injured in an accident? At the Gonzalez Law Office, we handle all criminal and injury cases. We don't settle for less, and neither should you. Call the Gonzalez Law Office at 916-304-9187 or visit us at saclegaldefense.com.
2 young fathers are shot to death outside an iconic Utah restaurant.
I said, your dad has been hurt really bad.
The grief was disorienting for those left behind until one choice changed everything.
I just remember writing this letter, and it wasn't me writing it.
Can a personal decision shape generations?
We're all falling for this guy's trick.
I'm Amy Donaldson. Season 2 of The Letter, Ripple Effect, is available now. Follow us at theletterpodcast.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
Celebrate Sacramento Rivercats baseball during our 25th anniversary season. Pick your favorite weekly promotion, giveaway game, or theme night, and join the fun at Sutter Health Park. Stick around post-game every Friday and Saturday night as we light up the sky with the brightest fireworks in town. For a full promotion schedule and to buy tickets, visit rivercats.com. We'll see you there.
Welcome to a brighter future with Aztec Solar, serving Sacramento since 1980. Everyone knows that solar saves money. How much? The answer is a few clicks away. Visit yourpowersavings.com. It's fast, easy, and reliable, giving you instant insight into your potential savings.
I used to pay $400 a month to the power company, and that $400 a month added up to $48,000 over the past 10 years. That all changed when I switched to solar with Aztec Solar.
Now it's your turn to stop overpaying for electricity. Calculate your solar savings right now at yourpowersavings.com. And Aztec Solar will email or text you how much you'll save every month. Plus, we've got an exclusive offer for you. Get your solar electrical system for just $9,995 cash price after incentives. Don't wait. This deal won't last forever. Visit yourpowersavings.com today and take the first step towards energy independence with Aztec Solar. Want the best movie experience in town? Join Sactown Sports IMAX Pass by visiting SactownSports.com. Sign up today. You can win tickets to see this week's films at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Country in the Park is back May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Jay Cohen, Walker Hayes, and more. Tickets start at just $46. Country in the Park May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Tug Shed, new dog treatment sensors, and Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave for my good friends at American Energy. Now, I've told you this before, but this is what we call extending a good deal. Right now, American Energy Heat and Air is offering an HVAC diagnostic for $99. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Never mind. They're offering it free. It's a $99 value, but you get it for $0. Let the American Energy team test your system connections and all the moving parts of that system to ensure that it's functioning properly. Now, this is a limited time offer. Call today to schedule your appointment at 916-520-9990. Speak to the company that has an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau that's been making the greater Sacramento area proud since 1981. 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Here's a Warriors three, no good. Rebounded by Kessler Edwards, and that will do it. You hear the thunderous light the beam chant in the background. The final 4 seconds tick away. Davion walks it into the front court. The horn sounds, and the Sacramento Kings have won in a live or die last game scenario. Win or go home, and the Kings managed to win. Steve Kerr, Mike Brown embrace at center court. And you wonder about the Steve Kerr dynasty and all the success of the Warriors. This year is a number 10 seed being bounced in the play-in opportunity. 118-94 is the final score.
All right, let's get into it. Type them up if you have some. All three of us have some as well, and we will then get into some crosstalk with the Drive guys at about 1:45. Yeah.
It's gonna make me cry, man, this song.
You know, it was a great run for the boys in the Bay. The big
Fun
three.
while it lasted. Well, not really.
The Splash Brothers, Draymond Green. Okay, I'll go first.
Do you want to explain what we're doing one more time?
Sure,
I guess maybe.
Sure,
Yeah.
Sure. So we basically at the end of movies, you know, when they are
wrapping it
saying
up, you know,
what
yeah.
happens in real life movies.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
when they'll say, "Remember the Titans."
Remember the Titans.
That's the perfect example.
Bertier went on to whatever he went on to do, and Coach Carter. This is where this song is from. Timo Cruz went on to be a coach. Things like that. So we came up with some of our own, and here we go. Klay Thompson went on to become a longshore fisherman. He hasn't been seen since going 0 for 10 in the play-in against the Sacramento Kings.
Ooh, that's a strong one. I could see it too, like especially a long short. Like it would be something where, like you said, he would never, ever be seen from again.
No.
And then like 10 years from now, people are like, "Is that Klay and he's got like a huge nautical beard and like
when they found Luke Skywalker.
Yes, there you go. They bring a basketball to him, he just throws it over his shoulder like Luke.
It's like, I don't know what this is.
I went out with 0 points. It's over.
It's over.
I haven't seen one of those in a very long time. All right. I got one. Should I do Klay as well? Should I match it?
Sure.
Should we go Klay for Klay? All right, we're going to go Klay for Klay. A little inside joke there. Klay, you didn't mix it up with the music, right? Like, you didn't time it up. We're just
going.
Cool. All right, Klay Thompson went on to use his love for scaffolding and laying down bricks to start a construction company. Klay's Bricks are currently PNW's number 11 construction corporation.
Nice.
So happy for him.
Yes. Klay also feels very I know he went to Washington State, but like the Pacific Northwest feels like a good landing spot for Klay.
Yeah.
A lot of trees, lumberjack, wilderness, out there. Nobody hears from him ever again.
There you go.
There's a really common theme here with Klay, and I'm afraid that we're probably not going to see him much after his playing career's over.
They'll have the team back in 50, and everyone's like Tim Lincecum. Is he going to show up or is he not? Nate, you got one?
I got two, but we're going to start with Draymond Green.
Okay.
Draymond Green went on to break every single Dance Dance Revolution machine in America via stomping too hard.
Wow.
Dude, those are the people who really people really stomp.
He used his post-career just to get really good at it, but he's banned from
They're like,
every
Mr.
single.
Green, please.
Yeah.
Please, no. We just got this new machine.
Draymond Green went on to become a full-time podcaster.
Oh, that's
and
very
is
likely.
currently defending LeBron's legacy, like literally right now.
I thought we were supposed to make these up. These weren't supposed to actually be true.
You guys have seen that picture of them at the wedding or whatever?
Oh,
where
yeah.
it's with a bottle?
Dancing together.
Dude, that is
I haven't seen.
He's holding like a bottle.
Dude, and they're almost like
sweating.
Grinding. They're close to each. It's weird. It's a weird picture. It's real. The shirt's
on my video. It's a
it's a still.
God. I cannot believe I haven't seen that.
Yeah. All right, Chris.
All right, I'm going to go one for Chris Paul. Chris Paul would retire from the NBA and start a law firm with the intent to hold referees like Scott Foster accountable for their crimes to basketball. Kings forward Harrison Barnes was asked to be a partner with the firm, but declined to pursue his career in politics. He is currently the president of Iowa.
Wow.
Nice, dude. Congrats, man.
That is great.
I have a different Chris Paul timeline back here.
Love that.
Sure. We could get to it. You might need some prior knowledge for this. Nothing better than explaining a joke after it's over, but Chris Paul went on to beat his addiction to the NBA Finals. He's been clean for 40 years and counting.
That's right.
If you're familiar, after going to the finals as a son and losing, he said, I can't wait to get back. I'm addicted now.
I actually had the same one.
Sure.
I
That's
did.
incredible.
I'll show you. It's right there in the rundown.
He's sober, 40 years.
All right.
Shout out him.
Let me get to, my last one. I have Steph Curry. After an amazing playing career, Steph Curry went on to turn pro as a golfer and took his choking ways to the golf course by finishing second in the Masters by missing a shot to win it, handing Rory McIlroy his first Masters victory.
Congrats,
Again,
Rory.
I thought these were supposed to be fake, and Alan's making these very,
Alan's making
very
it way too
real. Like, these are all very real.
Very possible. Very possible.
I'll end with my Steph one because it does feel like the one that you would play in the last part of the movie. So I'm going to go Steve Kerr here. Warriors coach Steve Kerr was fired the following season after benching Moses Moody in the fourth quarter for Bronny James in the following year's play-in tournament. I could just see it. I mean, that dude hates Moses Moody.
Yeah,
I don't know
really
what
doesn't like
Moses
him.
has to do to get playing time. This is like the fourth time Moses Moody has killed the Kings.
Yeah.
And Steve's like, you got to get out of here, bro. I don't know what you're trying to do. I don't know what kind of point you're trying to prove here, but I don't like it. So go sit on the bench.
Yeah.
And finally, we will end with Mr. Wardell, Stephen Curry. This one feels like, again, the one that would end the movie because, there's always the Booby Miles of the story, right? There's always the guy who actually ended up making it.
Yes.
And, of course, that's Wardell. Steph Curry went on to finish his career with the Golden State Warriors. He finished his career as the all-time leader in three-point field goals. Fades to black. Next text pops up on the screen. He did not win another championship.
Man.
and it just lingers on
too
there.
real.
Like
That's too real.
10 more seconds.
Too real.
And then that fades to
that
black.
one's too real.
Yeah, I mean that's real.
That one felt great. I'm not gonna.
I can't do my Curry one. It has to do with affordable housing. So.
Okay. All right. I
don't want to go there.
I feel like there's one that we're missing on. Draymond Green went on to create the first MMA basketball league.
Oh yeah,
and further.
Him and Khabib.
No, who's
Him
the
and
dude
Khabib.
who was an MMA fighter in the NBA? There was one. Forget. No. He was well trained. He was
James Johnson.
Yes.
James Johnson was like a
and you see
Taekwondo
people
master.
get into it with him, and you're like, "What are you
Don't
doing?"
do that. Yeah.
Draymond Green went on to create the first combination basketball MMA
That's right.
league where stone kicking is highly encouraged.
He's currently on his green belt.
I was gonna say, you know how the UFC made their slapping competition?
That's
Draymond
right.
Green has a rival groin kicking league.
Wow, great stuff.
It's Dana White's next adventure.
Great stuff right there.
All right. I'm glad. That was great. That was great. I hope we could do that again. Maybe we could do that with the Pelicans next, you know?
Hopefully with the
word
Pelicans,
is out.
I mean, that would be a lot. The Pelicans, they got some fun.
Zion went to eat every McDonald's.
It would be just 7 Zion points.
I'm down. That sounds fun.
We can honestly break. That would be great. I wasn't rooting for the Kings to beat the Pelicans. Now I'm especially rooting for the Kings to beat the
If we finally close the chapter on last night's game and the Warriors moving forward, I know Chris Paul came out and said he wants to continue to play. I don't see them bringing Chris Paul back. Chris Paul's services would not necessarily be used based on what we think the Warriors want to do. From the 209, Chris Paul went on to take care of his brother Cliff full time.
Ooh,
nicely
what
done,
happened to
209.
Cliff, dude? Yeah,
did it not do well? And do you remember when they made a Steph version?
No.
Yes.
No, I definitely blacked that out of my memory.
There's a specific commercial, State Farm.
Oh, wait, does he have
where they're
glasses
going?
on or
Yes.
something?
And
Yes,
I don't know what Steph's version's name was, and they're going up the escalator like the two of them.
Yes, I have
and
seen it,
Cliff and the Steph version cross each other, and I guess it didn't do well because we never saw that dude again.
Or they just couldn't afford Curry.
That definitely
he's
could.
probably like the most expensive athlete.
Well, they spent all their money on finding a new
This was young Steph.
So they probably got him. Yeah, I don't know.
This is young Steph.
The one that
All right.
sticks out to me. I'm sorry. The one that sticks out to me is the family. Where Dame's the baby.
Oh yes,
dropping
dimes, dropping dimes.
There you go. When we return, crosstalk with the Drive guys, Stiles Watkins, Sactown Sports.
The New Orleans Pelicans have absolutely owned the Sacramento Kings this season. Sacramento seeking its first win against New Orleans and needs it or their season comes to an end. A loss and it's over. A win and they are the 8th seed and headed to OKC.
The rebound grabbed by Sabonis, hammers it back off the bounce. Another offensive rebound and another 2 points. The Kings have their biggest lead of the ballgame.
Get all the exciting play-by-play action starting at 6:30 Friday night on Sactown Sports.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It ignites something inside of you.
Lightning and the thunder.
Sets alight an elevated state of being. Days are pure exhilaration. And the nights, they're simply electric. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Contact Tax Relief Helpers for details and restrictions. Attention anyone that owes money to the IRS. The IRS has restarted aggressive enforcement actions against taxpayers who owe back taxes that were temporarily suspended for COVID. If you owe $10,000 or more, you must hear this because now is the time to clear your IRS tax debt. A special toll-free number has been established so you can stop penalty fees, avoid liens, levies, and other hostile measures by the IRS. Call Tax Relief Helpers right now at 800-934-9217. Tax Relief Helpers will provide you with the maximum protection afforded by law.
I got behind on my taxes and owed $48,000. I didn't know what to do. I called and they got my bill lowered to just $3,500.
I owed $87,000 in taxes, and it was scary. I got the amount I owed down to just $3,500. I saved $83,500.
If you owe money to the IRS, don't wait another day. Call 800-934-9217 right now before the IRS enforces liens, levies, and other aggressive measures. The call and consult are absolutely free. Call now. Call 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217. 800-934-9217.
So here's a fact. 85% of the population will suffer from foot pain in their lifetime. That's almost everyone. So you'd think there'd be plenty of healthy long-term remedies, but there just aren't, right? Hi, I'm Dan from the Good Feet store. You know, people come in all the time sharing the same frustrating story. Bought this, tried that, been there, done whatever, all different kinds of things, but all with a similar result. Nothing. A discouraging and endless cycle of disappointment. If this rings a bell, don't despair. There is hope. If you think you've tried everything, you probably haven't tried Good Feet arch supports from the Good Feet store. They're designed to relieve, even eliminate, the pain commonly caused by certain foot conditions like plantar fasciitis, bunions, flat feet, and others. Plus, provide better balance and increased comfort. See what we can do for you with a free arch support fitting. Just stop in or schedule an appointment. With over 200 stores, there's likely one in your neck of the woods. Find yours at goodfeet.com.
Everybody needs Good Feet.
You've been waiting all winter for the snow to melt and the golf course to awaken. It's time for your long-awaited spring golf getaway to Plumas Pines Golf Resort in beautiful Gray Eagle, California. The golf course opens April 19th, so the timing is perfect to take advantage of Plumas Pines Spring Special. You can walk the course for $75 or ride for $90, available 7 days a week through May 23rd. Beneath towering pines adjacent to the Feather River, Plumas Pines Golf Resort offers a spectacular round of mountain golf. You'll love the grandeur of the Sierra, the calmness of Gray Eagle, and the wonderful test of golf at Plumas Pines with spring special rates of $75 to walk and $90 to ride 7 days a week until May 23rd. Make your reservation at plumaspinesgolf.com. Whether you visit for the day or stay a few days, Plumas Pines Golf Resort will make your play memorable. Visit plumaspinesgolf.com and make your tee time reservations for the spring special rates available 7 days a week. That's plumaspinesgolf.com.
Maida Chevy saves you $10,000 off MSRP on every new 2024 half-ton Silverado, LT, RST, and LTZ in stock after rebate. Over 50 to choose from.
Exclusive all in-stock pricing at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
See deal for details. M43024. Once upon a time, you could get a heater tune-up or an air conditioner tune-up for just $59, or both for $89. Not too hot, not too cold, just right.
I thought you were going to read me a bedtime story.
Go to sleep now. Bonnie.com. License 69635.
Sactown Sports. Call or text at 916-339-1140.
Joined by the one, the only Whitey Gleason. And guys, before we start chatting with Whitey, we missed an obvious layup here. And it's coming through on the text line. I'm going to change it up a little bit, but the obvious layup was Chris Paul can finally retire as he was finally able to beat the Warriors. It just took him being on the team.
I get it.
As a sleeper agent.
I would say Klay. I was thinking like, okay, gotcha. Yes.
Or you could say as he ended, finally ended the Warriors
dynasty.
Yes.
Right. Yes. I mean, would have been nice if he did that in Houston. Would have been really, really nice if he did it in Houston, but I guess never late than never, or better late than never.
There you go.
Klay definitely played his part.
Yeah, I was going to say that one we didn't.
I was like, you talking about missed layups
because Klay just with the donut. Whitey Gleason joins us
Thompson.
now. Yeah. Or Chris, you had a funny one from the YouTube.
Oh my God. Yesterday on the postgame YouTube, someone typed out Klay Thompson, but where all the O's are, he put 0 instead. So it was just like, it was really great to see written out. Good writer joke.
Whitey Gleason, how are you feeling after the big win last night?
I'm feeling good and optimistic, and you don't want to see anybody get hurt, but this is incredible. This roller coaster just never lets up, does it? It never relents. What's around the next turn? I was dreading playing the Warriors, and they beat the Warriors. Zion's out. It's unbelievable.
Whitey, I'm curious too. I saw a lot of people try to frame like how big yesterday's game is. I think a lot of people said, this is one of the biggest games in Sacramento Kings history. Like, is it a top 5 game? And maybe just a win is because obviously, the Bibby shots up there. I'm sure there's some lower playoff round games, but this is still a 9-10 matchup. Do you feel like this is a top 5 match? Not asking you to create the list right now, but did it feel that big to you?
Not off the top of my head.
Sure.
I don't feel that way about it. I understand. I think NBA.com, their story said it was the biggest Kings win in 2 decades or something. And I thought, I mean, I guess, but as you say, it's a 9-10. I think it kind of puts a stamp on this year. Like, all right, no matter what happens Friday, they did something this year, which is nice, but I have a hard time because, the Warriors, it was really almost a formality that, at some point, I know Alan doesn't like to hear this, but at some point, the whole thing was kind of in regression. It'd have been nice if they could have finished them off last year. So my point is, it's nice, but I don't feel like, whoa, they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was a good win. It was a really fun night.
Yes,
maybe most top 5 fun days or wins in Sacramento Kings history. But I had a tough time finding this team. This is a team that's been in the Western Conference Finals. I just have a tough time believing that yesterday was truly one of the best wins in Sacramento Kings history.
Yeah, it was cool with the whole backs against the wall, and they just came out. And the Warriors,
Absolutely.
It's funny with all the talk during the last few days of I know Draymond saying we know each other so well, there's no surprises. And yet the Warriors looked like, whoa, we didn't know they're going to play like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like, I can definitely speak for myself. We were all waiting for the run, even just a mini run. I guess it came in the second, but it wasn't from the brand name guys. It wasn't from the big 3. It wasn't from the Splash Brothers. It was Kuminga with some random mid-range jump shots and Moses Moody being the Kings killer that he is. So we didn't really count that.
They just don't play him against
they just
Kings. It's so funny.
Right. So we thought there was going to be another run, and how would the Kings react? And it just never arrived. It never came. Still waiting for it. The Warriors still waiting for it right now.
Yeah. I thought when I think Steph scored to cut it maybe to 9, could be mistaken. And that's when Domas got his 4th foul. I thought, oh boy, crucial moment here.
Right.
They left him in. And then I think Keon hit a couple of threes. I was like, wow, crisis averted. But I felt right there. It's like, wow, that's one of those moments where the whole thing's kind of hanging in the balance. And the Kings didn't struggle at all with those moments.
One of the things, Whitey, we were sitting next to each other in the post game, and neither of us got to ask a question because it was so busy.
I asked a question.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
In the post game?
Yeah.
To who?
Keegan Murray.
Oh, okay. We don't know, but you wanted to with Mike Brown.
Yes.
Yeah.
They just had too many people.
We both were trying to. We didn't get to ask it. I'm not sure what yours was, but what I wanted to ask was, did Mike Brown think, even though they ended in losses, that the tough stretch that they were on, and he talked about this while it was happening, hey, it was a good experience. And a lot of Kings fans were not happy that he said this, this is a good experience as the Kings are free falling, losing games and staring at that point. We were just thinking the play-in. Then they dropped all the way to the bottom half of the play-in. But do you think that these tough games against the Knicks, where they had the lead, against the Thunder, where they had the lead, do you think that those games ended up, unfortunately, it's part of the reason they became the 9, but do you think those games ended up helping the Kings for a situation like this, for when they did start to lose the lead against the Warriors, they didn't panic and they said, it's not happening again. We've done this too many times, not today.
I just feel like they needed some time without Malik to figure things out, and that's what they were going through. I think they probably, if they'd won 1 or 2 of those games, they probably could have still figured things out. So it's semantics. I don't think they had to lose those games.
Right.
I'm not saying, they had to lose to figure things out and to learn from the losses. But I do think, as one of the things I noticed last night, I felt like, wow, just as an observer, I don't feel like Malik is missing. And obviously, they would love to have him back. But that was the first time since he's been gone, to my eye, that it looked like they figured it out. So did they have to lose to figure it out? I don't know. But, a coach says they got to try to find something positive to say about those losses.
Yeah, right? No, and I think a big part of us not feeling like we missed Malik was our guy, Whitey Keon Ellis yesterday, man. 15 points, 3 steals, 3 blocks, had some assists, had some rebounds. But I think the thing that doesn't show up on the stat sheet is the timing of those threes. Like you said, it felt like for their moment there, the Warriors might have gained some momentum, but the thing about yesterday and the biggest thing about Keon's performance was the timeliness of those threes is so big. And for him to be in his second season and, not just get shoved into this starting lineup and to have the pressure of, he didn't play in the playoffs last year, to have those moments in that game. This is where Mike Brown earlier this year was like, I don't even know what to say about Keon and his potential and his future, because it's crazy. Like that is a crazy thing Keon Ellis did yesterday, is it not?
Yeah. There was a moment, Chris, to that point, and I think it was the second half, and Keon had made a corner three, and then next possession or so, De'Aaron drives, and De'Aaron kind of forces it a little bit, and he gets blocked, and Keon was in the corner, and I was like, how is Fox shooting that when you have Keon Ellis in the corner? And I realized, what is going on?
Say? Yeah. I mean, but that's where it is. Like he's been a 40% 3-point shooter. I think he's actually been like 47% in his last 10 or 15 games. He's been ridiculous. And it's everything. Like he had offensive rebounds yesterday. Again, the steals, the
way he was chasing on defense. Sometimes it looked like the Warriors on offense, they weren't attacking the defense. They were trying to keep the ball safe.
Yes.
Like they're going to give it to me so they don't take it. Oh, look at, here you take it.
Yeah.
No,
it's incredible. And like, I don't know what to do about his defense, because he got the on-ball steal of Steph, which I thought was huge just in terms of like a mano. I'm not backing down from this matchup. And then he had this one steal on Klay, which me and Alan looked at me instantly after it happened, where he kind of navigates through some screens. Klay comes on the other side of the screen, kind of sets like a forward momentum dribble towards the lane, and Keon beats Klay. Like he intercepts the dribble.
Keo.
It was. I saw that tweet. It was incredible. Mike Brown said, I guess he compared Keon
He's like,
to
that
the
movie.
Matrix.
What's that movie? And it was Tony. Tony's like, Matrix? Yeah, the Matrix.
Whitey said we should call him Keo, like Neo.
Yeah.
We'll workshop it. Thank you for listening. Yeah, go ahead. Go. You would do the same to me, Whitey. Thank you for listening to Stiles and Watkins. Thanks to all the callers. Thank you to Nate. You have the Drive Guys up next with Whitey Gleason and Kyle Draper. Until tomorrow, secure the bag, light the beam.
Subscribe to Sactown Sports on YouTube and watch the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Stiles